What's up, Hunter? You're guessing a brand new servant for Grand Archer? Really? I don't think so. I mean, that would be surprising. I like it when they surprise us, but I actually don't think so. That'd be kind of crazy, because, I mean, technically it was kind of a new servant for Grand Assassin, but they didn't release him, even though it's basically just King Hassan, but whatever. I would have liked him to at least get a skin. But a brand new servant, yeah, I don't know. I kind of Super David. No, that's crazy. You know, people are theorizing online. From what I saw, was like Arash might be the Grand Archer, which I don't know how I feel about that. I get that Arash is like kind of notorious of being a very powerful archer and whatnot, the meme and whatnot. But I kind of hope it's not him. No offense to my Arash fans out there. Just I don't know if it would be that hype. I mean, I guess it depends, right? I guess it depends on how they do it and what his design looks like. But of course, I'm hoping it's gonna be Gil. I'm hoping to fight Gil in all of his glory, full powered, just no fucks given, Grand Archer. But I won't be surprised if they just decide to go Super Orion, or I know some people were kind of talking about the fun idea of having Orion and Artemis fighting in unison together, kind of like a duo servant. I think that would be cool. Gilgamesh makes the most sense, and I hope it's not Arash, since we just had Indra. Oh, Arash? No, Arash is obviously Arash is a Lancer, but I was talking about Arash, the 1-star archer. But on that note, if it's Ishtar, that'd be kind of crazy, but nah, I don't know about that. Super Billy the Kid with a minigun. I mean, again, I want them to surprise us. I don't want it to be either surprise us or make it Gilgamesh. Those are like the only two things where I would be hyped. Obviously, I'm biased when it comes to Gil. I have my Gil jacket on, and I have a Gil collection behind me, as you guys can see. So, if it's Gil, I'll be hyped. But if it's not Gil, I want it to be like a surprise. I want it to be like, whoa. Because, again, with the Grand Assassin, they really changed it up. They made it King Hassan, but at the same time not. So, they kind of did a little bit of both and surprised me at the same time. So, if they want to go that route, then by all means. It's almost 4 a.m. for you. It's almost 1 a.m. for me. I actually have a concert to go to later. But that's not until way later, so I have enough time to go to sleep. But as per usual with these Grand Duels, I'll just be obviously reacting to the fight, and then I'll be farming a little bit. And I think actually later in the stream, I'll probably do a little bit of Gacha rolls, because I do want to roll for Summer Tiamat in my other account. Just because I'm so used to using her in my main account that when I go play in my side account, I'm just like, oh, fuck. I kind of miss having Tiamat around, I'm not going to lie. So I'll probably roll for her there. Maybe just like 2 copies, I think. If we're really lucky, maybe we'll go for 3, but I'm not sure. I have work in like 3 or 4 hours, but I couldn't sleep and your stream popped up. Okay, well, as long as you're okay with just chilling with your boy for a little bit, then I hope your shift is going to be a chill shift, and I hope you don't fall asleep mid-work, because that'd be big sad. I'm so hyped for MH Stories 3. Oh yeah, that's coming out in what, March? It's coming out relatively soon, so I'm excited for that too. Octopath Travelers in 3 weeks. Yeah, I saw that too. There's a good handful of games that's coming out in the near future that I'm pretty hyped for. That John Chibi is old. Oh, the one next to the chat. Yeah, I mean, someday I'll probably replace them. They've been here since the beginning of my Fate Grand Order streaming, I think. The 2 Johns, but I don't know what to replace them with, because I didn't animate them myself. I found them online. I honestly don't know where I found them at this point. It's been a while. It's been a good minute. Yeah, so 9 more minutes, and then the Grand Archer duel is going to come out. It's going to be a little nasty. No, I didn't mean just for you. Just mean in general. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's old. I mean, John herself is pretty old when you think about it. Put them on the bottom. Like the bottom, like... Oh, I don't want to fuck with them right now. But you mean like the bottom left and the bottom right? I don't know. I kind of like it when they're like in front of the banner and then we're waving their own flags. I mean, I don't know. Someday we're gonna do something. Take your jacket and umbrella for the concert. Oh yeah, it's gonna be raining, and I'm surprised you said umbrella So I assume you know that I live around the LA area, and I'm gonna be going to the Hiroki Saruno concert. It might be raining, so yeah, I'll probably have to bring an umbrella no matter what. But yeah. How much money to not Grand Gil? Dude, there's no amount of money. $20 billion. There's no amount of money, you know, that would convince me not to Grand Gil. To be honest. Because this is like 10 years in the making. You know, he's the first limited servant in the game. Won my first 5 stars ever in Grand Order. And to not grand him, that'd be insane. About $1. If it's $1, like a physical dollar bill, signed by Gilgamesh's VA, Shuten's VA / Tiamat's VA, and your mother, then if it's those 3 things, then sure. Then sure, we could do that. But I highly doubt you're gonna get that done, my dog. I should grill my Gil. I had him since launch, but my weakness, insane woman, got me Kali. Hey, Kali Yuga or Durga is a solid pick for a grand. Obviously, if I wasn't gonna pick Gil, I would probably grand the recent Summer Tiamat. With the power of Photoshop, I can't. Alright, Hunter. Like, no need to use Photoshop or AI or anything like that to produce fake signatures here. But you know, if you do so, I will know. You know, I studied photo editing and Photoshop back in high school, so I know how to spot it. I know how to spot it. Yeah, Tiamat, I would love to grand her, but when they showed her a couple months ago, the summer version, I was so hyped. I was so ready to grand her, but then when they showed her as an archer, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually cannot betray my king, no matter what. Unless they release like a female Gilgamesh, in which case, you gotta weigh the two. You gotta weigh the two. Bavashi was also top pick for me there with Gil and Kali. Yeah, if you guys saw the recent App Media polls on what people were most likely to grand for themselves, Gil was number 1, which I mean makes sense. You know, he's the king of heroes. If you're not gonna grand Gil, then you know you're cracked out of your mind. And second place was actually Bavanshi. So it's crazy how Lostbelt 6 just carries a lot of Fate fans nowadays. Like the fact Bavanshi, Lostbelt 6 character, is number 2 in the Grand Archer polls is insane. Because I think Archer himself, like Emiya, was like number 5 or 6, which isn't bad to be. You know, being in the top 10 is good, but you would think, you know, a legacy character like him would be a lot higher in the list. But you know, it doesn't matter if someone offers a lot of money to not grand Gil. Gil would easily outbid them. So yeah, that's true. That's true. That or he would threaten to kill me. You know, so either he's gonna. If it was a caster version, he would probably be more civilized about it, right? But if it's Archer Gil we're talking about, I would just get skewered right on the spot. You feel me? Yeah, a female Gil would be great. Yeah, the one from the Type Moon Ace, exactly what I was thinking about. Yeah, she would easily, like, I don't know. It depends on how they portray her. If it's exactly like that from the Type Moon Ace, I think that was like a April Fool's thing, if I'm not mistaken. Hey man, Strange Fake started out as a April Fool joke before, and now it's a full-blown series that's gonna be an anime, like an actual weekly anime this coming January. And I think the first 4 episodes are gonna be premiering near me next month, so I'm gonna try to make it. I'm gonna see if I can. If I can't, then I guess it is what it is. Isn't Sith also like the best single target damage of archers? Yeah, she's one of them for sure. Especially as a 4-star. She's pretty. The only thing that kind of, well, I was gonna say the only thing that holds her back is the lack of Scotties during the fight. But at the same time, with the recent introduction of Summer Tiamat could support both arts and quick. So yeah, double Tiamat and Bavanshi. It's probably gonna be super cracked for this fight. Unfortunately, she doesn't really support busters, so my double Tiamat and Gil team is probably not gonna do as well. That and Gil is AoE, so it's, you know, it is what it is. Alice from Ilya Anime when? Alice? Wait, is there an Alice from Yeah, I was like, wait, who are we talking about? It's been a hot minute since I've seen the Ilya anime. I don't know if there's a Alice. Yeah, I just googled Alice. Maybe it's a different name you're thinking of. There's a couple characters. The blonde girl. Yeah, I thought that's who you're talking about. Why am I not remembering her name too? There's Beatrice, and then there's the other one. The blonde one. I know who you're talking about. I don't know why I just don't remember now. And her name's Angelica, so it started with A. You were kind of close, not really, but yeah, Angelica. Yeah. See, you remembered Archer Blades. See, okay. We got a secret Angelica fan over here. 3 more minutes until the Grand Archer Duel. If I had say, I would grant her, but I don't have her. Some mother will do. Well, you know what? Tiamat is. I assume that's who you mean as mother. That's as good of a choice as any. So there you go. You haven't even watched it, yo, Archer Blades. You're missing out on the best iteration of Emiya. What are you doing? What are you doing watching my stream? Go get off the stream, go on Crunchyroll or whatever anime site you have access to. Go watch Prisma Ilya and come back to me. Like binge it in the next 30 minutes and then come back to me. Because what are we doing here? Yeah, 2 more minutes. Angelica has the guild card. Yeah, it's indeed Angelica. I don't think she's ever coming out at this point. I mean, we're like 10 years into the game, and we've had pretty much 2 Ilya events and then a couple of summer events with the Ilyas in it, and it's no shot. Yeah, you could just get away with watching the Mewverse movie, and then you don't gotta watch the rest of the series if you don't want to. Even though, you know, the latest season's pretty good, but you know, people get turned off by lollies kissing each other, which, you know, out of context, yeah, that's fucked, but, you know. If you could look past that, it's decent anime. It's pretty good, especially in the later seasons. I heard it was like full on Yuri lolly anime, so I ended up not watching. See, that's what stops a lot of people from watching it. Does go hard on that in the beginning, but if you get past that, I swear it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like, just look away. Make sure you're not watching in a public space. Oh, the thing is about to start soon. Make sure you're not watching with like your parents around or anything. With the blinds closed, all that good stuff, and you should be good to go, man. You'll be fine. Yeah, just make sure, because if the scene happens, which is not even that crazy, they just kiss. Like it's not like they're like straight up scissoring each other. They're just kissing. But even then, like, just make sure your mom or whatever doesn't walk by and sees that shit. Because, you know, out of context, you know, they don't know what you're watching. Okay, so Grand Archer should be dropping now. Yeah, give it a try. Again, the first 2 seasons are gonna be rough if you're not, you know, if the Yuri lolly stuff really grinds your gears. But the latest seasons, bro, and then the Mewverse movie, it's over. Okay, let's see who the Grand Archer is. If it's Gil, hyped. If it's not Gil, you know, surprise us. I want to be surprised. I want to get my socks rocked. I want to get my dick hard, you know, all that good stuff. Let's see. Am I in the middle of quest? I hope I'm not. I don't think I am. Okay, no. Let's see. What's up, Sibsart? Okay, let's see. Grand Archer? Oh, yes! Yes! You know right away when you hear the music. You know right away when you hear the music. You see the gates open. Wait, okay, let's not get dick teased. What if it's Ishtar? What if it's Ishtar? Oh, it's him with the hair slicked back when he killed Tiamat. Oh, we're getting the rematch. We're getting the rematch. Tiamat versus Gil. We're getting the rematch. We're getting the rematch. It's over. Grand Archer. Look at that. High five. High five. Yep. Yeah. Oh, he's reaching for my heart. He got my heart. It's over. It had to be Gil. Yeah, it had to be Gil. There's no way. As soon as the music kicked, where the fuck is it? Okay. Oh God, it's over. Oh, it's over. Yes, for all the people that were like, "Oh, it's not gonna be Gil. It would be too predictable if it was Gil. If it was Gil, that's a boring. It's not a boring choice. It's a king of heroes. How could you say boring and Gil in the same sentence? It doesn't make sense. It's incomprehensible. You just can't do that. He's the most lucrative male character in the Fate series. They use him in damn near everything because he's just that guy. He's just that guy. All right, I was gonna say let's whoop his ass, but let's humble the king. You know, let's see what. Oh God. Oh no. All right, so of course I gotta bring my Gil. I already got him prepared. Got him with the armor off. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get him all prepared. Gotta bring Tiamat for that rematch. Gotta get that lick back. You know what I'm saying? Back in Babylonia, you know, Gil had his hair slicked back. Decided to one-shot Tiamat with nobody else's help, of course. You know, Gil did it by himself. He didn't need King Hassan's help or Merlin or Ishtar or Rishigal or, you know, Fujimaru or Mashu or anybody for that matter. He did it by himself. But, you know, here in this particular case, we're gonna have that rematch. We're gonna have Gil versus. Kind of wish he had a unique outfit. Not gonna lie. Hey, wait. Hold your judgment. Because they did reuse his sprite from Babylonia, and it's pretty much just his hair slicked back, and then the rest is normal. But you know, you cannot build upon perfection at the same time. You can't expect them to build upon perfection because that's unrealistic. You know, the King of Heroes already has a peak design. There's really nothing you could add to him besides maybe a pair of titties and like a vagina or something, like, you know, make him female Gil. But otherwise, he's pretty much perfect the way he is. All right, let's go ahead and bring Nuve as support. So I gotta bring. Oh God, I'm so scared because I don't know what the gimmick is because all these different Grand Duels had different, you know, gimmicks, different things to expect. And if this is Gil going full out as a Grand Archer, you can expect them to just spam Gate of Babylon, spam Enuma Elish. So we gotta get our dicks hard and ready because okay, so my strategy here, obviously double Tiamat is pretty much the only or one of the few good archer supports. I also have Nightingale Archer as another support. So double Tiamat will help support my Gil, make him crit the next turn, as well as protect my team because, you know, Tiamat has invincibility to the party. And then we could switch to Nightingale, one of the Tiamats, to get that NP damage up, as well as buff removal resistance and, you know, heals and whatnot. So, oh my goodness. Let's see. I don't need the teapot on right now. Now, usually we lose these first fights because I don't know the gimmick. But when we learn it, yo, you see how fast like they were, like I was able to know that was Gil. As soon as it showed the gate and the music, it was over. All right, Grand Duel. Oh, look at that. Yep, he's the Grand Archer. No one can argue now. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, can I get the sprite? He has A out. He healed for 200k. Don't know why. Okay, he has a break. He has all the gates open. We're fighting him literally in front of the actual gate of Babylon. Okay. The music is lit nasty. He doesn't have invincibility, but he has some kind of dumb damage resistance. Okay, so we're just gonna set up this turn, see what he does. He does have the Enuma Elish right away. It might be a unique animation of Enuma Elish. I hope it is. Should we Enuma? We might as well Enuma Elish with Gil right now. Why not? This should kill unless his damage resistance is dummy with the sauce. Also, I don't know if this Gil, the Gil we're fighting, has a weakness to Enuma Elish, because I know the Gil we're using, for some reason, even though he's the one wielding it, is weak to Enuma Elish, if I'm not mistaken. So either way, we're gonna protect Gil with Tiamat. Yeah, we're ending the world times 2 for real though. Holy shit! Let's go, Grand Archer Gilgamesh. Yeah, there were people out here talking about Arash, Orion, your mama's ass. Like, they were talking about all the servants, and then when Gil was brought up, people were like, "Nah, that's boring." Boring? Come on now. You must be new around here. You must be new. Okay. Let's see. My Gil versus this Gil. That's right. I have it slowed mode and everything. Slow mode and everything. I feel like since we are fighting Gil, one of the better servants to bring for this fight, because he is male, would be like Artemis and Urieli for cheaper option, because they do extra damage against males. Plus, they synergize. Oh god, they synergize a lot better with Tiamat, who supports arts and quicks. Okay, so we did 700k. That's good damage. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's see. Unique Enuma Elish, please. I mean, he has. Yeah. Oh, I want it. What is that? What is that? What is that? I want that though. I don't even know what I just saw, but Lord have mercy. It looked like he like launched Vimana and just crashed it on us. I don't know if that's what that was. I don't think that's what that was, but that's what it looked like. Okay, we should be able to kill him. That was crazy. I gotta see that again later for the vibes. But unless his damage res is like that dummy OP with the sauce, I don't know what any of these do. Maybe something to do with class affinity. I'm not sure, but it doesn't even matter. We're doing Archer versus Archer here. What's up, Brandon? How are you doing? Okay, so the crits, yeah, okay. Is this the first Grand Duel that we win first try? And it has to be Gil, huh? Yep, okay, so the crits from Tiamat buffs just dummy carry. Alright. Lord have mercy. Was that, yeah, his ship Vimana? I think that was Vimana he launched at us. That's what it looked like, at least. Oh man, that's hype as fuck. It looks like the NP of Proto Gil. Oh, does it? No, Proto Gil's NP is like he opens an arrow, like a portal and then an arrow in space and shit. I don't know, like a bow, and then he shoots it. I guess it's kind of similar, like a similar principle. Congrats on the win, effortless. Yeah, he must have underestimated us. Yo, Gil, you're facing your #1 fan, bro. Don't underestimate me. You know, I hate to make demands to the king, but like, I know everything about, well, most things about you. Look at my Grand Archer choices: Tiamat, Kid Gil, and then of course the King of Heroes himself. So I gotta pick the King of Heroes. As much as I want to pick Tiamat, you know, in the end of the day, here's Tiamat. Here's how much I like Tiamat, and then here's how much I like Gil. I'm pointing up. I'm not even like doing this. I'm doing this. I'm pointing all the way up, like all the way up in the sky, dog. Like, as much as I like Tiamat, you know, Gil's all the way up there, bro. So I gotta pick Gil. All right, Gil, let's go. Should have done Kid Gil. That would have been insane. Let's go, Grand Archer, Gilgamesh, the King of Heroes, the only deserving Archer, in my opinion, besides Orion. You know what I mean? Orion already got it, so there you go. There you go. Holy. Look at that. Beautiful, bro. Just a thing of beauty right there. Just a thing of beauty right there. Gil did finish off Tiamat. That's true. That is very true. All right, let's go ahead and give him his, you know, the usual Black Grail. Bonsi. What would be better for him? In this particular case, because Tiamat already charges him pretty well, I think we're actually gonna go with the NP one. I think that's what I'm gonna go with, and then some kind of bouncy doesn't really matter, I don't think. But some people might be farming this for QP. We're just gonna do this for now. Okay, Sick Nasty. What's up, Terrence? How are you doing? Imagine if it was Emiya. If it was Emiya, dude. I mean, that would be hype too, to see like a new and improved unlimited Blade Works animation. I assume that's what would be the animation they would go with like a Grand Emiya. Like, that would be cool. I mean, when you think about Archer, you do think about Emiya. You don't think about Gil, because when you think about like the best male character in all of Fate, yeah, you do think about Gil. Let's keep it a fat stack. But when you think about Archer, the class, you do think about Emiya. Okay, let's go ahead and do the thing again. Who's the boss? The King of Heroes, easily. Let's just bring any Tiamat. Kind of wish he just saved the team from earlier, but that's okay. We're gonna bring Kid Gil for bond purposes. I guess you for bond purposes, and then Nightingale just in case we need the extra push in damage, because she's like the only other one of the few other support archers out there. Ishtar? I mean, you know, Ishtar's cool and all, but I think Emiya is slightly more iconic, just slightly. I mean, Ishtar's cool and all. You know, I like her. She alright. First of all, Gilgamesh, you know, it was King of Heroes, also Grand Archer. I thought it's Super Ryan. See, you thought. See, the thing about Super Ryan, and I don't mean to be a hater. You know, I love Super Ryan. I have him in NP2 and NA. You know, he's my dude. I loved him in Olympus. Or not Olympus, in Atlantis. But let's keep it a fat stack. In Atlantis, he did one thing. He did one thing cool, and that's it. And it's also implied that Wodan whooped his ass. So, like, if the Grand Archer, if a Grand Servant's getting whooped by, you know, a normal, well, quote-unquote normal human, you know, is he really the Grand then? Is he really the Grand? Because Gil wouldn't have let, you know, Wodan do that to him. Let's be real. Yes, I know Gil got whooped by a normal human too, but let's just pretend that didn't happen. All right, so he doesn't have a break this time. Okay, it's over. I'm sorry, Gil. I want those effects though. Can I have the Gate of Babylon effects on my Gil too? That'd be great. Bring Ishtar. No, that would be an insult. I see what you're trying to do. Like, haha, you know, Ishtar beating up Gilgamesh. Oh, I just noticed this Tiamat is not a good Tiamat because it's not doesn't have the second append. Okay, that's a little bit problematic, but we could still save this. We could still save this battle. I think we still got it. I don't think we even need to use Tiamat's NP actually. I don't think Orion ever fought because Artemis is his waifu. Yeah, he didn't really do much. Like, he's the Grand Archer and he took down Artemis, which is like, you know, it's a feat. That's cool and all, but I mean, it also took like the sacrifices of like Achilles, Paris, all these other servants to bring down Artemis. Like, he didn't even do it by himself. So is he really that great of a Grand? Like, let's keep it a fat stack, bro. Whereas Gil, you know, he slayed an actual beast, aka Tiamat. Now, did he have help too? All jokes aside, yeah, he did have help, but that's an actual beast. Whereas Orion, you know, he took down a robot. Okay, that's cool. I could take down a robot too. Just unplug the motherfucker. Ooh, okay, scary. You know, whereas Gil, you know, an actual beast. Like, okay, now that's cool. That's a real Grand right there. That's a real Grand. See the thing about him giving up his right to be a Grand. See, Gil wouldn't have done that. You know, he wouldn't give it up. You know, he would keep the title and then perform. He doesn't have to give it up. King of Heroes, you know what I'm saying? Gil can have my whole entire body. He already does. Whether you like it or not, he already does. You know, he owns everything on this planet. You know, he calls this planet his garden. In which case, we're all just insects running amok in his garden. And you either respect his authority or you don't, you know? I guess why he wasn't the Grand this time. Well, technically, you know, King Hassan gave up his Grand title. And we kind of got him, you know, an iteration of him. Okay, I need one that has the second append unlock. Because I don't want to bring a Tiamat that's like dog. Although so far Gil is doing pretty well. Gil would say, why would I give my power to a filthy? Yeah, exactly. You know, if you're going to be a Grand Servant, you got to own it. You know, you can't just give out Grands like they're candy, you know. Sorry, Super Ryan, you know. I'm just saying, you're kind of like a mid-Grand. Because you compare what Super Orion did to what Grand Lancer Romulus did in the following chapter, Olympus. And they're like leagues apart from each other. in terms of feat, in terms of power, in terms of aura. Super Ryan didn't do shit in the grand scheme of things. He took down a robot. Ooh, I'm scared. Didn't Gil die to overwork in Babylonia? But that's what I'm saying, you know, he just puts in that work. See, no matter what you say, I'm gonna spin it. I'm gonna spin it no matter what. He carries this entire franchise. He carries this entire series. You look up the character in the Type Moon universe that's had more appearances in the entire franchise. At least in terms of Fate. If you're just looking at Fate, I think Rin is actually pretty high up there. Like Rin Tosaka, it's pretty high up there in terms of appearances. But Gil, I think he's number one in terms of, like, I mean, you have Fate Strange Fake, you have FGO, you have all three Fate Stay Nights, you have Hala Iteration, you have the Extra series. You have all these different series, you know, he's just that guy. He's just that guy. No, Emiya has had a good amount of appearances, but I don't think not more than Gil. No shot. That Carnival Phantasm, the list goes on. Can't even get Saber. Hey, see, you say that like it's an L, but even at the end, he's okay with that. He's okay with that. So, like, that's not really an insult or a diss on him because he was okay with that. He literally, like, caressed her cheek, which is more than what most men out there watching are going to be able to do in their life. He was able to caress her cheek and tell her, like, listen, it's okay that I don't have you, you know what I mean? So he was okay with it, you know? That's not an L, that's a W. No matter what you're going to say, I'm going to spin it, bro. King of Heroes for life, dog. What's a woman is crazy, yo. Yo, Kaneki, that's wild, dude. A woman is a, well, you know what? I'm not going to answer that question because, you know, some people might have different definitions. But a woman is what Gil enjoys. Let's say that. A woman is what Gil enjoys. And you know what? Gil enjoys them in all shapes and sizes. Let's be real. Saber, Gil, anyone? That'd be cool. We are inside Gilgamesh's gate of Babylon. Yeah. We're all in there, bro. Well, that's why he said he enjoys them in all shapes and sizes, you know. Enki do too. You know, he doesn't discriminate. You know, people like to paint Gil in this very negative light. But when you really sit back and look at him, he doesn't discriminate. He treats everyone the same, you know. He's canonically had relations with both women and men. So, you know, he's cool with both. I'm inside Gil. Hey, man. We're inside his world. Grand Gil has a unique line if you beat him with this char. Oh, really? Oh, shit. I mean, I'm not going to do that, but, like, I'm probably going to look that up later. I just realized there's really no point in me using Tiamat's NP for these earlier fights, just because, like, my Gil's just going to one-shot anyway. But maybe later. He treats everyone about the same. Yeah, yeah, exactly. He sees everyone in the same light. That's more than you could say about a lot of people in real life. We all love Orion, but we know he is an archer candidate, same as other classes. There is multiple games. Yeah, I mean that much is true. That much is true for all classes except for assassin, technically. Tez, you know, pulled some strings a little bit, but canonically speaking, the only grand assassin should be King Hassan. So, talking about archers, there could be multiple grand archers, you know. Arash could have been a grand archer, like some people were speculating. Same thing with Orion. Maybe he was going to make a comeback as a grand archer. I saw some pretty crack theories out there, but, you know, Gil is just the one that makes the most sense. He's the king of heroes. He's the most iconic male character in all of Fate. So, they got to give him his flowers, you feel me? And even if we don't give him his flowers, he's just going to take it anyway, so. In my head canon, Stay Night, he pissed and bored at the world. Can't blame him, though. I mean, when you compare, like, the people in his time in Babylonia to the people in modern society, I don't mean to get too philosophical and whatnot. You know, we're kind of walking L's compared to his people. His people were brave, courageous, hardworking, everyday men and women. Whereas people nowadays, you know, we're all lazy, weak. I mean, I can't lift a weight to save my life, bro. He would absolutely hate me. So, and you know, I'm honest about it. Okay. I think we could still one-shot this skill. even without the double Tiamat. So let's see if my theory is correct. Yeah, okay, with the crits, yeah, no problem. Archer Boudica. Myself being Boudica fan, waiting for a new class. Yeah, I saw that too, and it's like we don't even have like an Archer, like a normal Archer Boudica. So her just magically appearing as the Grand Archer would, in my opinion, makes absolutely no sense. I'm not saying she's eventually not gonna have a Archer version, maybe like a summer version, or maybe like a Boudica altar, or maybe a younger, or maybe older Boudica, whichever one they want to pick. But her debuting as a Grand Archer would be like, oh, really? Okay. And that's like no offense to Boudica fans out there. Like, this is like, really? Okay, they went with her? Like, out of everyone? All right. And I get that there's reasons like that people were hoping for that, but yeah, come on now. Let's be real. Okay, so this is the 100 star one. So this one we probably won't be able to one shot, so we will be using our Tiamat's NPs now. Hassan Shoda has a cooler exit scene though than Grand Duel. Okay, I mean I'll give him that. You know, Hassan walks away and fades away into the mist. You know, I'll give him that. But I will say, you are a little bit wrong though, because Gil doesn't, you know, he stands there looking at you eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? He gives you that respect. So in some ways, he still has that aura about him. You know, we beat his ass and he looks at us eye to eye and it's like, you know what? Okay, cool. Did they give Gil any updates in JP for Grand? No, they didn't do that for any of the other Grand Servants. So I doubt they would do that for Gil. Although if they do, I'm not going to complain. Okay, so this one we won't be able to one-shot. But I think next turn, unless he protects himself, we should be good. Boudica fan here, love her, but no, giving her Grand would be going from 0 to 1. That's what I'm saying. Like, they would have to build it up. They would have to give her, first of all, an actual Archer version to build up on. Like, they can't just take a Rider, magically turn her into an Archer, and then go straight to Grand Archer. That's like, oh, okay, wait, what? Like, come on now. Now if they made her the Grand Rider, then yeah, you gotta have an argument there, I guess. But Grand Archer, that's insane. Because aside from Gil, there's a ton of great candidates. All jokes aside, like I said earlier, Emiya with a new UBW would be cool. Orion has already been shown as a Grand Archer. That would be passable, I guess. Even Ishtar to a degree, I'd be like, oh god damn, that's a cool. I want that animation so bad. What the fuck? Okay, I want all these animations. I want them all. Okay, we get attacked every end of the turn, but that's not gonna matter because now we have the full buffs of Tiamat to crit you to death. Yep. So this is why you pull for Tiamat, guys. For those of you guys who are NA players, if you're not rolling for Tiamat, Summer Tiamat specifically, what are you even planning for, bro? What are you even planning for? Yeah, that's right, Gil. That's right, Gil. Oh, I just noticed he literally drops the treasure chest and like our quest rewards. We're literally getting gifts from the King of Heroes. I don't know, but Hunter, you talked about how Hassan's exit is a lot cooler. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of aura right there. He literally gives us our rewards. You can't say the same thing for pretty much every other enemy we defeated. Now that's fucking cool. Don't I need 5 copies for her though? Not necessarily. Like, I mean, if you want the most amount of damage, sure. But I think you could get away with probably NP2, in my opinion. The higher the NP, the better. I mean, you could say the same thing with most servants, to be honest, but you could get away with at least NP2. That's what I would say. Now, keep in mind, they're giving you 1,000 quartz for 10th anniversary. But if you plan on using that for Olga, I get it. But still, Tiamat's right there. You know, Tiamat's right there. Maybe Gilgamesh Ruler will have these animations considering he has appeared in Samurai and I guess also an extra CCC. even though his class was just his own name. That would have been so sick if it showed, like, for this Grand Archer duel, if it showed Grand Archer and then it like glitched out and instead of Grand Archer it just says Gilgamesh. That would have been such aura. I would have been like, yo, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. But they didn't go with that. I'm just saying, Lizangle, I almost said DW. That's how you know I'm Unk status when I'm saying DW. Lizangle, if you're watching, bro, like, hey, you could implement that on the low key, and you don't even have to credit me. You don't even have to credit me for that. Oh wait, 700. Oh my God, we only do around 700 to 800k. He has 1.4 mil. Okay, so hopefully we get good cards next turn. If we get a full combo with Gil, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be able to kill. Gonna be sick nasty with the sauce. As NA and JP player, I agree. Tia Mama is insane. Yeah, she's crazy. Like the only two criticisms you could give Summer Tiamat as a support servant is one, you have to use her NP, which obviously takes a couple more seconds than, you know, optimal farming teams. And the second criticism is you kind of want to get her NP2 plus, but you could kind of get away with NP1 for like lower level farming, but for high level farming you definitely want to get like NP2 plus for sure. Gilgamesh giving us some charity for entertaining him. Yeah, exactly. We're just here dancing around like monkeys in front of him, because if he really wanted to kill us, he'd obliterate us off the face of the planet. But you know, we're entertaining him. The fact that Enuma Elish is a normal attack for him is insane. This is when you know he's going all out. I do wish that they kind of gave him Pierce Invincibility. I know that would fuck up my strategy, but just to make it, you know, slightly harder. Okay, we pretty much got like the... Oh, I forgot to use this buff, but we got a really good combo, so... Double Buster and Quick, so... This should be it right here. Yep, these are all Tiamat buffs right here. So he literally, like, the enemy guild went from 750k all the way down to 0 just purely because of double Tiamat buffs. So again, if you're not rolling for Summer Tiamat in 2 years, then you're fucking yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. I truly put her above, and I said this before, I don't know if it's a crazy take, but I think she's below Oberon, but I think she's at the same level as Castoria, Koyan, and Scotty in terms of support. But if her NP level is high enough, I would put her above them, but still below Oberon. So no matter what, she's not as good as Oberon, but she's like right below him, in my opinion. Based on my playtesting and like how much I use her. Obviously, I'm super biased, you know. I'm sure the mathematicians out there have way more reliable statistics on that, but I just like using her, and I use her quite extensively. As you can see, she's like Bond 13 already, almost Bond 14. She's just that damn good, like literally. She enables characters that are not able to farm and gives them the ability to 3-turn farm. Like Shuten, for example. Shuten cannot farm. She is not a good servant in terms of farming. In fact, she's probably not, and I love Shuten. She's not a good servant at all gameplay wise, but Tiamat allows her to farm, which is more than you could say about like Castoria and other supports. Oh, 2 million? Is this the last guild? Oh, Jesus. Okay, the good thing is Gil doesn't have a card here. So next turn we probably have a Gil card. Probably. How good is Ruler Kagetora? Really good actually. Comparable to Draco and Berserker Castoria. She's probably the weakest of the three when you compare, because they're all single target, very powerful arts servants. She's probably the weakest of the three in terms of damage, but I do find her ability to remove buffs before damage to be very useful. Which is something Draco and Castoria, Berserktoria doesn't offer at all. I'm skipping Summer Tiamat for first banner for Noah. Wait, okay, yeah, Noah is after Summer Tiamat, right? I mean, more power to you, but I'm just saying, you know, if you have an art servant or a quick servant that you really want to use for looping and they can't loop with the normal Scotty and Castoria servants, I'm just saying Tiamat allows them to loop. I'm just saying. So if you're looking at your roster right now and you're like, damn, I really wish I could loop with you, I'm just saying Tiamat could probably make it happen. When are we getting event on NA? Next week, I think? I think relatively soon, next week. Did I forget to use my NP damage up again? I probably did, but you know, it's not consequential, I don't think. Okay, so this is probably going to be a 3-turner, if I'm going to be real. Okay, we do have a full combo with Gil, and I did forget to use my attack up, so that's kind of an issue. But I think a full combo Gil should do pretty decent damage. Let's see. I don't think it's going to kill, but I might be underestimating. You see, even now, I still underestimate Tiamat's buffs. See, look at how much damage I'm doing. I don't kill, but, like, dog, that's powerful. Okay, so, okay. Oh, okay, don't kill yourself now. Don't try to pull an Emmy and try to kill yourself. Oh, okay, that is big damage. All right. All right, okay, so I'm glad he didn't only go after Gil, because if he did, if Gil only went after himself, you know, canonically speaking, he probably should be going only after himself, because the thought of someone else using the same treasures, wearing the same clothes as him, would probably insult him greatly. So he should probably be going after himself. Am I high? Is the Grand Archer the Babylonia Gil? Well, yes, it is. It is exactly the Babylonia Gil with spiky hair. And I'm happy it is. Because that's Gil going full out. So it just makes sense. There you go. Yep. And he gives us the rewards. Gilgamesh going full Emiya, that would be insane. Okay, so I think that's the last one. So honestly, not that hard of a Grand Duel to farm, because I think the most annoying one was the Lancer one for sure. Just because it required way too much setup, at least for the servants I had access to. But Archer is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I'll be able to one-turn him with Gil. I think he's probably one-turnable with like Artemis or Urieli or other single targets that synergize way better with Tiamat. Because again, Tiamat supports arts and quick, but does not support busters really. So if I was using another archer, probably would be able to one-shot him. Maybe Bavanshi being a quick with double Tiamat easily would one-shot maybe. Urieli extra damage against male servants, male enemies, plus an arts NP would be able to one-shot most likely. Artemis, but yeah, I'm okay with 2 turns, 3 turns. That's fine. I saw Grand Fujino. Oh yeah, Fujino. I would expect people to grand her. I mean, she's a great character, really powerful too. I'll farm this a couple more times, and then do a little bit of upgrades and whatnot. Wonder why Gilgamesh is allowed to be Grand Archer now. Allowed? You might need to choose your words carefully, because the only reason he's Grand Archer right now is because he himself decided to be Grand Archer. You know, at any given point, he could be Grand Archer, but he decided at this given moment in time, you know what, I'll be the Grand Archer. Why not? You know, it is what it is. Otherwise, you know, all these other scrubs, all these other mongrels could be Grand Archer if they want, you know, if they want. But everyone knows the King of Heroes deserves the Grand Archer seat more so than everyone else. A Sonic collab? Oh, because of the night? Okay, yeah. I see what you're cooking up. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but you know, I see what we're cooking up. I can't wait for my Grand Archer Ilya to get revenge for Astana. That's funny, yeah. You could do that. Double Tiamat Archer Ilya, yeah, you could do that because she's quick if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, sure, that could work. Gil has decided as Grand Archer as the others are. That's what I'm saying. Like, the others are phonies. The other Grand Archers are just phonies. They're just keeping his seat warm for him. But when it's his time to like step up to the plate, you know, he's gonna step up to the plate. It's so hard for me to pick an archer to become Grand. Do you not have a favorite Grand, Terrence? Because that's pretty much how I gauge who I'm gonna Grand. Who is my favorite? Even if they're not that great gameplay wise, like Shuten for example, not really a great servant gameplay wise, but she's still my favorite, or my favorite, you know, assassin. So that's usually how I gauge who I'm gonna Grand. ultimately. Okay, yeah, let's go full on attack. Imagine Kamiya from Gurren Lagann and FGO. I mean, he would be a heroic spirit. He is dead, you know what I'm saying? Gilgamesh pulled an art and said, why shouldn't I grant? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, realistically, if there was like a free-for-all, all the archers fight each other, and nobody's fucking around, like nobody is like underestimating another character or whatever, like Gil would win 10 times out of 10. Unless all the other servants like gang up on him, then I guess he would lose. But come on now, like he's winning that no matter what. Do I need to use Tiamat buffs again? I think I could just win with these. I think I'll just win with these. Tiamat has been such a boon to 90++, being able to bring any pair of AoE and single target quick and art servants to, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, she's amazing. That's why I said earlier I think she's right below Oberon, but depending on NP level, she's above Castoria and all the other premier supports. And I wouldn't even be mad if somebody said like she's on par with Oberon. I wouldn't even be mad. But I think that's too much glaze. I think that's glazing too much. Otherwise, I would say right below Oberon in terms of support. Okay, I think we could do a couple of upgrades. I have 3 favorites: Babanshi, Takasugi, and Fujino. Ooh. Yeah, those are all really good. I mean, for the purpose of this fight, I mean, I know you said you're not going to go for Tiamat, but I'm just saying Tiamat could support Babanshi. I'm just saying. I think I would pick her. I think I'd pick your first favorite, the first one you listed there, just because she has better synergy with Tiamat. But again, you're not rolling for Tiamat, so I don't even know why I said that. Yeah, let's go for extra attack, I guess. Deadass, I think she's way better than Oberon. See, I'm not ready to make that claim. I'm not ready to say that. I'm glad you did, though. I respect it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to say that. Because the thing about Tiamat, again, like I said multiple times, is she doesn't support busters. She supports 2 out of the 3 cards, whereas Oberon, yes, even though he does lean towards buster a little bit more with his 3rd skill, in the end of the day, he's able to support all 3 card types. So that's the only edge I give to Oberon, is that he could support all 3 card types somewhat equally with a little bit of edge with the busters, whereas Tiamat is like almost full on quicks and arts. And the only way that she kind of supports busters if you crit with buster cards, but even then. I'm okay with Scotty Ruler. What do you mean with Scotty Ruler? I think Tiamat better than her for sure. Like, I'm ready to make that statement. I can't understand one thing. This Gilgamesh has 500% extra damage against Beast class. Wait, really? Is that what that says? Like, they just put that there? Well, again, he is the Beast Slayer. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at all the other Grand Servants, okay, King Hassan, okay, he put the concept of death on Tiamat, but he didn't kill Tiamat. Super Orion, the other Grand Archer. Oh, he killed a big bad robot. Oh, that's scary. He never killed a beast, though. Yeah, I know he was summoned to handle Koyanskaya, but in the end of the day, on paper, he wasn't able to finish the job. Just saying. Grand Saber Musashi. Okay, I mean, Musashi did something crazy, you know, closing up the chaos portal in the sky and whatnot. That's cool. But at the end of the day, she didn't slay a beast. Heracles, I mean, we don't even got to talk about him. He got schooled by Gilgamesh back in Fate Stay Night, bro. Unlimited Blade Works. Like, Gilgamesh is the only Grand. Like, let's keep it a fat sack. He's the only Grand that took down a beast. I'm just saying. So he deserves that. 500% extra damage against a beast makes sense. Makes sense. It just makes sense lore-wise. He's the only one that did it. He's literally the only Grand Servant to finish the job. Oh yeah, and Grandcaster Merlin, Solomon. Okay, I guess Solomon, you know, he did weaken Goetia, but in the end of the day, he didn't finish the job. You know, Gil still did the job. You know. A while ago, I was wishing that I want Lostbelt Artemis, but after I saw Gilgamesh, well, he's always Grand Art. That's what I'm saying. Always, every day of the week, bro. But we took out Ort. Okay, you know, Ort is not a beast. You know, Ort is not a beast. He's a foreigner. You know, we're not talking about that, you know. We're not talking about that. We're talking about beasts, you know. Plus, I'm pretty sure my Gil, at least in my timeline, which is the right timeline, my Gil is the one that took care of Ort. You know, I took down Ort with my Gilgamesh and my Enkidu. So at least in my timeline, you know, the right timeline, you know, I did what I needed to do. Okay, I'm kind of scared. Not gonna lie, kind of scared because I don't have a Gil card. We do have a full combo with Tiamat, so let's go ahead and go in. Ort is the ultimate one. No, did I say that Ort is weaker than the beast? I didn't say that. But we're not talking about other beings. We're just talking about beasts. I didn't say that. Y'all said that. Y'all put that in my mouth. I'm just saying though, in terms of slaying beasts, because we're talking about beasts here. We're not talking about foreigners or ultimate ones. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about beasts, bro. Like calm down. I didn't say that. You know, y'all put that in my mouth. I didn't say that. But you did the same as me. Gil took down Ort. Yeah, of course I did that. It just makes sense, you know. King of Heroes, strongest heroic spirit, strongest servant. Now Grand Archer, officially. Even though we always knew that. Technically, Olga Marie has also killed a beast. Okay, you're gonna have to remind me how. You're gonna have to remind me how, because I don't know. Herself? Oh, okay. Okay, so you're saying it like that. Okay, I guess. I mean, technically, yeah, I guess. Wasn't Gilgamesh created in response to Safar? Oh, you're talking about Extella stuff? I don't think so. And see, I'm like the Gilgamesh nerd here. I don't think he was. In terms of Fate lore, I don't think he was, but you could double check on that. It's been a while since I read up or played Extella. Methalith killed Kiara, and you know, good for her. You know, good for her. But she ain't no grand alter ego, bro. In fact, the extra classes are not supposed to be grand to begin with. Wait, did I use the? Yeah, I did. Okay. Parvati took out Kama, so she should be Grand Archer. Well, Parvati's a Lancer, so I half agree with you. She probably should be at least talked about for Grand Lancer, but not Grand Archer. No shot. More like an aftermath for gods to have influence on the human world filled misery. Yeah, Gil said, "Fuck that, bro. You're both the gods and the humans are my bitches." That's basically what he said. I'm waiting for the Mushroom Man to give Beast Angra Mainyu, and I want him to be terrible. That'd be funny. Like just the easiest fight ever. Gil was created as a consequence of Safar, not specifically in response to her. God's Weekend created Gil as a means to retain. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's more accurate. That's more accurate. Like the way the question was worded earlier was like, oh, the god saw Safar, let's go create Gil to combat her. Like that's not what happened, I don't think. But yes, the gods were weakened, and in order to retain their influence on humankind after being, you know, absolutely wrecked by Safar, they decided to create Gil in hopes of using him as a medium or a representative for them, but then Gil just said fuck that. I was joking, but technically Parvati could be any class since she's also Durga technically. Well, technically Gil could be any class too. Any class but assassin, I think. Because when you look at his arsenal and his abilities, he could kind of qualify for any class. Rider, you know, could get on his jet, his Vimana from Fate Zero, and pretty much use that to be a rider. Saber, he could fight with a sword, you know, despite, you know, popular belief, he does have combat skills. So you could fight with a sword, and obviously he has a shit ton of them. Berserker, you know, I think so. If he's angry enough, he could go berserk. Only thing I can't see Gil being is an assassin, because that's not really his style to attack, you know, from behind or in the shadows or anything. What do you mean he has presence? He does have that, huh? In Babylonia, he does, I think. Is that what you're referring to? I think he actually does have presence concealment now that I think about it. But, I mean, in terms of oh, shit. How are you going to grand your Tiamat? And you're not even going to append her second skill. This is an L Tiamat. I'm sorry, Tiamat fans out there that you had to see that. But here's a pro tip if you guys are going to be rolling for Summer Tiamat in the future, 2 years from now. Or maybe in JP, like in the near future or whatever. Please append her second skill and max it out. Otherwise, you're going to give players like me a hard time when we try to bring double Tiamat. And we can't even use our NP. Okay, that's fine. We'll just wait to use it next turn, I guess. My Gilgamesh can't one turn. I can't one turn. But I'm okay with that. Yeah, imagine Gilgamesh being an assassin. Like, imagine he's trying to assassinate somebody and he uses his Gate of Babylon to kill them. Like, that's just gonna give him away. The Gate of Babylon is bright as fuck. Like, I don't know. I don't think he could do it even with presence concealment. Yeah, the Cloak of Invisibility, he does have that. Yeah, apologies for that. I've only rolled for her a few days ago. Yeah, get on that, bro. Get on that. No, take your time, but, you know, get on that when you can. Because, you know, that's like what, that's actually a big weakness of the Tiamat strategy, is that not only do you have to rely on somebody else's Tiamat, which is true for Castoria teams and Scotty teams as well. But if they don't have that second append unlocked, you're kind of fucked. It kind of puts a hamper in things. Okay, I think we still got it though. We could just do this. Boom, boom. Seems like you didn't do speed up. To speed up the King of Heroes would be disrespectful to the king. Just saying. That's why, like, literally everybody's NP sped up, but Gilgamesh. If you notice, like, Tiamat's is sped up, but not Gil. You know, you don't rush the king. To rush the king would be a slap to his face. You know, you just don't do that. Always check your Tiamat when starting a node. Yeah, I should take that advice. Yeah, for sure. I 1000% should. Well, in VN, his Gate of Babylon was a Chinese, so it might be the case. It still glowed, right? I mean, that's what I was referring to. Like, if you have a glowing effect on your powers, as an assassin, you would be a very terrible assassin because you're making your presence known. All right, thank you for the QP and items, my king. This is such a good fight. Obviously, I'm biased. This is probably my favorite Grand Duel so far. Although the previous Grand Duel against the Zio Sudra King Hassan motherfucker, that was sick nasty with the sauce. But as a Gilgamesh fanboy, you know, I gotta give my favorite to the actual King of Heroes for real. Okay. How do I filter it so I could see like their append right away? Yeah, I actually don't know. Oh, there you go. See, this Tiamat's good. This Tiamat has a second append unlocked, so we're gonna bring her. Yeah, if you rush the king, you end up like Tokiomi. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Fate Zero, and you tell me how that went with Tokiomi. You know, you tell me how that went. You could blind your opponent to create an opening to kill. That's true. You could use the Gate of Babylon as like a blinding technique, or as a distraction. Like, oh, what is that? And then come from behind and slit their throat. That's true. But again, it comes down to like, can you actually see Gilgamesh doing that? Like, realistically, can you see Gilgamesh being an assassin? There's no way, because knowing his character, he would want to boast. He would want his presence to be known. He would want you to grovel at his feet. Like, those are all things that assassins on paper shouldn't be like trying to do, just because like an assassin's job is supposed to kill you as fast as possible without being seen, without being noticed. And that's just not Gil's, you know, that's not Gil's way. I guess it most likely just a warp effect with a hint of red, but it wasn't as shiny as UFO table made it to be. I guess that's fair. I mean, I've seen his VN scenes and they still glowed. Like, they had the glow effect, like the lighting changes when it opens. So I mean, I don't know. What about the latest 4-star assassin? His attack was very flashy. That's true. That is true. That is true. I'll have to concede on that. But although I will still say I still don't see Gilgamesh doing that. Don't think Kama is very sneaky either, right? I mean, canonically, I don't know how she goes about assassinating people. I feel like she's like a seductress. She like seduces you into like being with her, and then she slits your throat afterwards. That's how I kind of see her acting as an assassin. But that's a good point. That's a good point. In terms of like when we use her in battle, she doesn't really act like an assassin. That's fair. I guess that's fair. I mean, Tokiomi wasn't doing too bad. He was very oblivious to other people's. That's true. Yeah, that's true. He thought he had it in the bag. He thought, you know, he had Kide under his thumb. He thought he had, you know, Gil in somewhat under control. But he made a grave error when he allowed Gil and Kide to talk amongst each other. Because Gil, you know, being the devil on Kide's shoulders, it was over. At least he was doing better than his first master straight trick. That's true. That's true. You know, Tokiomi, he wasn't the ideal master, but you know, he made it to like more than halfway through the series. So that's more you could say about Gil's master and strange fake. That's very true. Gil's master and strange fake lasted literal like seconds, minutes. People remember Charlotte, Corday, and Matahari. That's true, exactly. So I could see Kama fighting like them. Probably more effectively because, you know, it's Kama. Okay, I assume this NP5 Tiamat, which I respect a lot. NP5, 120, Grand Tiamat. Look, even the border looks great on her. Like, I love Gil, but, like, to be honest, like, the border looks a lot better on Tiamat just because of the blue and whatnot. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Gilgamesh has no respect for assassins. The man gunned down poor Kojiro from far to ultimate disrespect. That's true. Yeah, see, that's exactly why I don't see Gil qualifying as assassin. He could qualify as every other class, but assassin? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Chief. Mommy Tiamat was so beautiful in that grand. Yeah, no, she is. I mean, she is regardless, but as a grand especially. Oof. You know, it actually took me a moment to remember that Tine was not Gil's original. Yeah, no, it happened so fast that they're just like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, you thought I was, you know, shitting on Tine. No, Tine is a great master for Gil. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that she's a kid, and that's not even on some weird shit. Like, Gil just has a soft spot for kids, at least in any other timeline besides Stay Night, in which he takes advantage of Kide's orphanage. But you know, we don't got to talk about that. Otherwise, he's pretty cool with kids. He's down to mentor them and, like, you know, watch over them. Maybe Gil would not answer as assassin, saying I can qualify, but it's below me. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's true. Maybe he could qualify, but he's like, the fuck? I don't want to be an assassin. Fuck that. Alright, Gil, come on. Yeah, so, yeah, this fight is low-key pretty easy. Pretty easy. One of the easier Grand Duels. Like, the hardest one being the Lancer. Assassin was a little bit tricky. But once you understood the gimmick and understood how to circumvent the insta-kill, it's not that bad. Grand Berserker and Grand Saber duels were probably the easiest, in my opinion. But, you know, Gil, no offense, Gil, you know, no offense. But the Grand Archer one's pretty easy. I believe in one of the bad endings of Fate Stay Night, he took care of Kojiro from a safe distance because Kojiro was dangerous or something. I believe Gil acknowledges that if he were to get close to Kojiro or let Kojiro get close to him, he would be in a pretty bad spot. Like, he acknowledges that Kojiro is kind of a threat in close distance. So obviously Gil had to take him out. If I'm not mistaken, I think canonically that's why he did what he did. And I mean, the same thing could be said about a lot of servants. Like, if Gil lets a lot of servants get close to him, he would get clapped. But that's why he fights the way he does, bro. He's not letting anyone get close. And the few times he did, aka Emiya, you know, it didn't really end well for him. So, you know. Next month is Goetio is my guess. I think it's probably gonna be Solomon / Goetia, and if not them, the only other grand caster that we know of, or the only other two that qualify, is Merlin and that one Chinese motherfucker whose name is escaping me, but I think he qualifies as a grand caster if I'm not mistaken. Nah, it's Geronimo. That would be crazy. One of the worst casters ever, who I think is a little bit better now thanks to his recent buff. But still, him being the grand caster would be crazy. Yeah, Taigong Wang. I don't know why I just forgot his name, but yeah, Taigong. I believe he qualifies as a grand servant. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. He did take down her close range with the chains. Yeah, but he was sweating though. He almost got clapped. He thought he took Heracles down, but then Heracles broke out of the chains, almost grabbed Gil. And if he was a second sooner, or if Gil was a second too late, Gil's head would have been smashed like a watermelon. No problem. But you know, Gil's the king of heroes. His reflexes are just off the charts, you know. Good. I thought Taigong is a writer. He is a writer. The playable version is. But I believe he said in the chapter he was in that if he was summoned as a caster, he would qualify as a grand caster. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be getting the context, you know, incorrect, but I'm pretty sure at some point in time he does say that he qualifies as a grand caster. Which you could take his word for it. He could be just joshing. He could just be lying, but there's really no reason for him to lie unless he's just trying to boast. I really don't see that being the case though. He says that in the summoning line? Okay. The summoning line. Like straight up? Okay. I thought it was like in the cutscene, but I guess in the line. I don't have him in, I believe NA and JP, so I wouldn't know his lines by heart. So thank you for the information. I thought he said Grand Rider. I don't think so. I remember him specifically saying caster, but you know, it is what it is. So it could be him next month. Although I will say, because the Grand Caster is obviously going to be the last Grand Duel we're going to have. We've had every other Grand Duel so far, with the Grand Archer being the second to the last one. So I don't think they're going to end the Grand Duels with like a random ass servant. Like, I know somebody was joking Geronimo. I don't think it's going to be someone like Geronimo. I think they're going to end it off in a bang with like a fan favorite, with like a recognizable, popular character. That's kind of how I saw the Grand Archer 2. It's the second to the last one. They got to end it off with Gil, the King of Heroes. Recognizable, popular. Nobody can really complain unless, you know, you just have a stick up your ass or something. So I think the Grand Caster has to be either Merlin or Solomon, just because they're the most recognizable as far as being a Grand Caster, in my opinion. Waver, that'd be kind of funny. I don't know if they would do that though. I don't think so. I think they want it to be epic. They want it to feel like a proper Grand Duel. If it's Waver, people are just gonna meme it. They're not gonna take it that seriously. I think yeah. So Solomon, Goetia, Merlin. Even though Taigong Wang does qualify, I don't think he's, you know, of that caliber of popularity and feeling like a grand servant to get people hyped. Because I think all the Grand Duels were pretty hyped so far. The only exception being, in my opinion, the Grand Lancer Duel. I just think debuting the servant a couple weeks before the Grand Duel is kind of whack. Just because we kind of anticipate him already being the Grand Lancer. And the fact that it's a new servant anyway, a new character we've never seen prior, it's just kind of like, eh. I like being the Grand Duels, being characters we already know of, with a new coat of paint. The most perfect one being the Grand Assassin one. I think that one is still on paper probably the most hype. Just because they literally took King Hassan and gave him a whole new design, damn near a new name. But it's still King Hassan in the end of the day. Like we know it's him. A Grand Waver would be insane. I don't think they would do that. They could surprise us if it's Merlin, but they make it Proto Merlin instead. Like they could surprise us next month. Okay, let's just win with this. Should be good. Yeah, a female like a Proto Merlin would be a pretty cool pick to surprise us, spice it up a little bit. Yeah, again, Geronimo, I don't see that happening. I think Grand Archer is just a mythological, mystical form of Gil, except we don't see him generating 3 galaxies on Aya. I mean, that is what he's like doing. That is his third ascension is basically that. But now he has a hair slick back, just like he did at the end of Babylonia, when he took down Tiamat. Hashtag Beast Slayer, dog. Beast Slayer Gil. One of the few servants to slay a beast, and the only grand servant that we know of that slayed a beast. The only grand servant that we know of that actually slayed a beast. So, in other words, he's the only grand servant to actually do his job. You know, grand servants were originally created by the planet to combat beasts, but so far the only one that actually killed a beast is Gilgamesh. You know, I'm just saying that's crazy. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to glaze, but that's crazy. That's crazy. People still sleeping on Gil to this day. Not a grand though, just a candidate. Again, technically, every servant could be a candidate depending on the circumstance, except for King Hassan. King Hassan's like the only one that's like the only one who truly qualifies to be a grand assassin. Tez just like pulled some strings, cheated a little bit. Hassan was integral there, dog. Oh, yeah, you're right. King Hassan put the concept to death. You know, I'm not gonna lie, he did do that. Merlin, you know, he was there too, and he's a grand caster candidate. He was there taking care of the mud, and a bunch of other crazy powerful servants like Ishtar or Rishkagal, you know, etc., etc. But in the end of the day, on paper, who's the one that slayed the beast? Who's the one that did the finishing blow? Who's the one that killed Tiamat? No offense, Tiamat. I'm just using you as an example. It was the King of Heroes. You know, it was. We all saw it happen. We all saw it happen in the anime and in the cutscenes. You know, it is what it is. What if the Fujimaru? Okay, I mean, he took her down mentally, spiritually, but the one who slayed the beast that was physically destroying everything in her path was the King of Heroes. What if the Grand Caster's the white-haired mommy Helena the artist drew first? Hunter, that is a crazy, crazy prediction. And I love Helena, but yes, her original design is top tier. And I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, that's so random, but I respect you for doing that. Fujimaru, the Grand Avenger. To be fair, that whole Fujimaru thing was anime only. That's not canonical to the game, if I'm not mistaken. Like, the first time we hear Tiamat talk was literally in the anime. Like, not even in the game. In the game, she's just saying, ah, the entire time. And there's no cutscene with her and Fujimaru or her and us talking. That's all anime original, but, you know, Gil coming in with his hair slicked back, it's canonical, because if you use him in Babylonia, he does come in with that sprite. So, that's canonical that he's the one that does the finishing blow for sure, 100%. Hashtag Beast Slayer, the only grand servant, the only grand candidate, if I have to be precise with my choice of terminology, the only grand candidate that actually did his job. Whereas all the other grand servants, what did they do? What did they do? Let's be honest, what did he do? I'm fighting Gil now. Love how treasure falls all over the Gil's gate as he crosses his arms. And I'll just use this fight. Yeah, no, it's a lit fight. It's lit nasty with the sauce. Alter ego Kiyohime. What? I mean, maybe one day, but I don't know about anytime soon. Seems kind of random. I'm actually worried what's gonna be besides the epic climactic chapter that's scheduled for the end of December, as well as the Grand Duel. I don't know if they have anything else planned. I think they release a schedule on what's planned to be coming out. Is there gonna be another event within the next month? Because I think they said that there's not gonna be a Christmas event this year. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they said. So I don't know what else. I swear, if we're gonna have a couple of dead weeks, it's gonna be big bad. It's gonna be big bad sad. So did you read the light novel for Strange Fake? So I know where you're going with this, and I will say without spoiling it, because the anime is coming out soon, and I don't want to spoil too much for anyone. I do know what's going on in the latest chapters, especially pertaining to Gil, if that's where you're going with it. And yeah, I hope maybe one day we get something, maybe like a Strange Fake collab event of some kind, and then they decide to pull the trigger on that. Yeah, no, I'll go bonkers. I'll go bonkers. And I hope that when the anime comes out, I don't know how many seasons it could be. I hope it's at least 2 seasons. I think they could fit everything in 2 seasons. That when we get to that part, everyone's gonna shit themselves. Also, kind of side note, but we're talking about Strange Fake. The novel is still going. Yeah, it's still going. It's still going. Talking about Strange Fake for a bit, because I know a lot of people, myself included, we were all a little bit critical about the release date of the anime. You know, 1 episode a year, you know, that's like the meme, you know. Wow, like the first episode or episode 0 was back in 2023. We're at the end of 2025 and we haven't even gotten a full schedule yet. But now it's finally scheduled for January. And I will say this, as much as we complained about it and bitched and moaned about it, especially after seeing what happened with One Punch Man, the newest season. I'm sure you guys have seen it, or at least seen the memes of it. You don't even have to watch it. I'm not watching it, but I've seen like clips and I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? I'm glad Strange Fake and the team behind Strange Fake, we're taking their time. Because if Strange Fake came out with that level of animation, it would be over. I would be so sad. I'd be disappointed, sad, and just, I don't know. I'd be contemplating very bad things. Because, my lord, Strange Fake is something that I've been looking forward to, and they cannot drop the ball with it. Because I'd rather it come out late and be delayed than it come out early and be half-baked and half-cooked. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's basically what happened with One Punch Man, if I'm not mistaken. I believe the studio was rushed to complete the season within a year, which when it comes to an anime, especially like One Punch Man, a high-profile anime, 1 year isn't enough for animation, for budget, for everything. So having a 1 year time span to complete an entire season is just unrealistic. So that's why we got what we got with One Punch Man. So again, I'm happy that Strange Fake and I believe A1 Pictures, the studio animating or in charge of Strange Fake, we're taking their time. I'm glad. Like looking back at it, I'm completely fine with that. We're finally getting it. You know, the bitching and moaning can stop. The meme of 1 episode a year, it's finally over. I just hope the animation is lives up to the expectations of being delayed for how long they delayed it. Yeah, it is a very different situation and studio. But in the end of the day, like no matter what situation, no matter what anime or series or whatever it is, if you don't give your animators enough time to do what they need to do to make an anime look good, it's gonna show, and everyone's gonna notice, and everyone's gonna meme about it and be mad about it. So I'd rather there be like a delay than not. Like, there's gonna be disappointment no matter what, and ideally we would just want the anime to come out on time with good animation anyway. But if there has to be a delay, then hey, by all means, delay it. I don't care. Just do it. Especially again for something like Strange Fake. I'm a big fan of Strange Fake. I've said this before. I didn't think they would ever animate it because there's a ton of other Fate spin-offs and a ton of other Fate stories that still need to be animated, in my opinion. Fate Hollow Atarasia, for example. Fate. I was gonna say Redline. I don't think that needs to be animated yet, but there's a ton of Type Moon works like Mahoyo, Mahotsukai no Yoru. I know that's still getting animated by UFO Table, but they're taking their sweet ass time with that. Tsukihime eventually. There's a ton of Type Moon works that I think take precedent over Fate Strange Fake. So I'm surprised Strange Fake is even getting an anime at all before all those other works. One Punch Man season 1 came out 10 years ago. Yeah, it's like a decade ago, and it still looks better than a lot of other anime today. Not even like comparing it to necessarily season 2 and season 3 of One Punch Man, just talking about anime in general. It looks really good. Like, I haven't seen One Punch Man season 1 in a while, even scenes of it in a while, but I started rewatching some scenes recently just because of the whole drama with the latest season. I'm just like, damn, this anime like aged really well. It still looks really, really good. And then I see scenes from like the latest season, and I'm just like, oh my god, what happened? And I know the studio changed, because I think Madhouse was the original studio, and then they are no longer able to. I think they went under, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I don't know the whole context behind it, but their studio is different nowadays. One Punch Man is. I think even for season 2 it was different. Fate Prototype, yeah, Fate Prototype is another one that they haven't animated yet. So there's a ton of Fate anime that you would think that they would animate first before Strange Fake, but they decided to go for Strange Fake, and I just hope that they're cooking. I hope they're cooking. UFO Table staff confirmed that they dropped temporarily everything in order to concentrate on Demon Slayer. I mean, that makes sense. Demon Slayer is their highest grossing, most profitable work that they've ever had. I mean, if you look at how much the movie made recently, 100% they should focus on that. I mean, they're a business, they're trying to profit, and they're doing a good job at that as well. So that makes sense to delay every other thing, Mahotsukai no Yoru included. Although I'm still excited to see that eventually in the year 2045 or some shit. So there's also a clear schedule for which of the Holy Night would be released next year. I mean, I don't know. At this point, I want another trailer at least, because we got that one preview like a year ago, or I think a year and a half ago. It might be already 2 years, but they haven't really given us anything. But again, if they're delaying it because they got to focus on Demon Slayer, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. My Hero ending in season 7. What about My Hero? Yeah, My Hero is ending soon. I think I'm watching it currently, and it should be ending soon. Let us agree we hate fandom of My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer. I am a fan of both. I've never dove into either of their communities, so I have no idea how they are. So I'm not gonna agree with you, but I'm not gonna disagree with you, because I have no idea. Because I mean, there's toxicity across every community, and the bigger the community is, the more likely they're gonna have like a toxic group in it. And you know, My Hero Academia being one of the biggest anime ever, and then Demon Slayer obviously being one of the biggest anime ever, obviously is gonna have like a bunch of toxic, maybe weird, maybe sus individuals, but you know, that's just the nature of the beast. With like fandoms in general, the bigger they are, the more likely they're just gonna have toxic people in it. That's just how it is. Every fandom has a bad side. It's not fair to group. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, Because again, I'm a fan of Demon Slayer and I'm a fan of My Hero Academia, but I wouldn't say I'm part of the community. Because I think to be part of a community, you have to like not only join like the social media threads like Twitter or I guess X, Reddit, 4chan, whichever social media you use, Discord, and like, you know, converse and intermingle with them. But you have to like attend the live events. You have to have a whole pre-order list of merch of those things. And I don't, but I do watch the shows and I consider myself a fan of the shows. It's just like not part of the fandom per se. Obviously with Fate, I'm part of the fandom easily, so it's like not even like a question. Reze or Makima? Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, obviously, fresh out of the movie, I'm inclined to say Reze, and this is somebody who didn't read the manga, so don't spoil it. If you spoil it, I'm literally gonna whip my dick out. So I think I'm gonna stick with that answer just so I don't go crazy with like. I'll just say fresh out of the movie, probably Reze. Fresh out of the movie. Again, don't spoil it for anyone else because I don't know if anyone else has watched it or read it or whatever. Reze versus Bakugo, it was becoming a debate. Yeah, my brother mentioned that because he knows I'm watching My Hero Academia, and if you're caught up with it, then you know Bakugo goes absolutely insane in the latest season. And obviously with Reze, if you didn't know, she also has explosive-like abilities. And so people were, I guess, comparing the two, Bakugo and Reze. I mean, as somebody who's seen both, just off of what I've seen, I think Bakugo's clearing, but that's just based on what I've seen. I mean, I don't know what the manga or whatever says. Again, I don't want to spoil anything for the Reze movie, but yeah. I think Bakugo easily clears. And that just, and you know, like, not thinking with your dick for a sec, because I know a lot of people will want to just say Reze just because, you know, she's a waifu, but I think Bakugo clears. If it's a fight, if it's a straight fight. How do you have so many apples? Oh my god. Because I only farm when it matters. And I'm so deep into the game where, like, I don't farm as hard as I used to. So I just stock up on apples, and then when it comes to, like, duels or events like these, where I would like to farm a shit ton, then that's the only time I use my apples. Otherwise, yeah. It is what it is. Only peaceful fandom I've experienced is from Fullmetal Alchemist, and that's because it's old, to be honest. Okay, yeah, I could agree with that, because I at least at one point, I mean, Fullmetal Alchemist is still probably pound for pound my favorite anime ever. And at one point, I was really deep into the community, and I never had a bad experience with, like, Fullmetal Alchemist fans. Whereas I did have bad experiences with, like, Fate fans, for example, as somebody who's deep into it. Like, there's a ton of elitists out there, a ton of like fans that look down on other fans just because, oh, maybe they didn't start the VN. Oh, maybe their favorite character is this character, or maybe they don't like this character. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like, what? Why is that making people angry? I don't get it. I mean, unless you say Gil sucks cock, then, you know, then you're initiating a fight with me. But otherwise, like, any opinion is welcomed in these streets. Do you like Deku Denji? It's a weird comparison because they're very different characters. Because, I mean, Denji's more relatable, I guess. So I guess in that regard, I like him more. But as far as who would I trust more with my life, probably Deku. I don't know. I mean, there's different criteria to take it. Was the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood calm when Frieren surpassed Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood on... I don't know, because I don't keep track with that. My brother does, so that's probably more a question with him. Again, when it comes to my anime list rankings, you know, I don't really give a fuck about those. I've talked about this in the past. It's a popularity contest in the end of the day. And when you think about it, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood came out X amount of years ago, whereas Frieren is new. So, of course, people who are more internet savvy and are on my anime list will be able to vote for Frieren over something older like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So it's very skewed. I don't like the way they rank stuff. Because again, it's just a popularity contest. Plus, I do find it silly that an anime that's not over, because Frieren's not done. Like, the story isn't done. The manga's still continuing, and I presume there's gonna be another season. Comparing an anime that's not even done to an anime that's over, that's like, what are we comparing here? It's just kind of silly. But that's just me. Yeah, that's more of a my anime list community than an FMA community. I don't think Fullmetal Alchemist fans give a fuck. Like me, I don't give a fuck. I'm a Fullmetal Alchemist fan. I don't care. Like every time it got taken, because it's not the first time it's been taken off #1 on my anime list. It's been taken off #1 multiple times in the past. And every time it's been taken off, I'm just like, okay. Like, and? It is what it is. Granted, Frieren has been the longest lasting #1 that's toppled Fullmetal Alchemist. So it'll probably stay #1, but my point still stands. It's a little bit silly that an anime that's not done, a story that's not over, can beat an anime that's done and that's been done for the past 15, 20 years. Technically more because of the manga. What do you think about Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy's cool. I'm not deep into it. I've played a lot of the more mainstream ones like Final Fantasy 7 and whatnot. And as a kid, I had fun with Dissidia. And I dabbled here and there with 13, with the 13 series. But yeah, Final Fantasy's cool. Got nothing negative to say about it. I think it's a fine series, if I do say so myself. Honestly, was very happy that Frieren didn't surpass FMA. To me, they have the same vibes. I don't know how to explain it properly. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Especially if you've read like the manga and you know the full scope with the story. That's fine. But again, in the end of the day, my anime list is called my anime list. And if you're ranking anime against each other, I think there should be a separate list for continuing anime and finished anime. I don't think that it should just be fused into one, because that gives people the wrong impression, in my opinion. Because what if the ending of Frieren is ass? Or what if the second season comes out and it's like One Punch Man season 3 levels of animation? That's going to impact a lot of people's perspective. And so we can't just say it's #1 just based on season 1 alone. That's like very silly to me. Death Battle is doing an Ash Ketchum from Pokemon vs. Yu-Gi-Oh! From Yu-Gi-Oh! Wait, what? That's crazy. I mean, if it's just them as individuals, if it's Yugi the Pharaoh, with the Pharaoh with like the Millennium Puzzle, isn't Yugi just 1000% clobbering Ash? Like 10 times out of 10? Because he has like magical powers. Whereas Ash, if he doesn't have Pokemon, let's just them as individuals. Like Ash is getting murked. I think Ash has aura, if I'm not mistaken, like aura, like not aura in the sense that we use it nowadays, but aura from like the Lucario movie and like a little bit from the episodes. But otherwise, he's just a normal ass dude. He's getting fucked. The one topic that FMA fans are rather consistently aggressive, toxic about, at least in my experience, is the FMA versus FMAB manga debate. I mean, they're debating amongst themselves, so it's not, in my opinion, that's not that bad. Like it's fine to debate. Again, I don't know too much about it, but yeah. I mean, that's like people's opinion versus other people's opinion. It is what it is. Like, some people do genuinely think the 2003 anime is better than Brotherhood, which is insane to me. It's good, but it's like not better. But you know, I'm not gonna get mad about it. It is what it is. Chainsaw Man surpassed FMAB. Did it? I mean, again, it's silly. It's a popularity contest, and in the end of the day, newer continuing shows or newer and continuing franchises are gonna surpass the older stuff. Like, there's a lot of older anime that I would say deserves #1 in some respects than FMAB. For example, Code Geass. masterpiece. And yes, I guess technically it has continued, but at least talking about like the original series, if that became #1, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's finished. It had a conclusive ending. At one point, it did at least, and it was a satisfying ending at that. So I can see that being #1. But Chainsaw Man and Fear, no shot, no shot. The funny thing is, FMAB anime kind of expects you already watching 2003 version. In a way, I mean, not really. You don't have to watch the original one. I mean, it's gonna help you already understand the mechanics and like how the world works, but it's not a requirement by any means. Like, you could watch FMAB without watching the original one, no problem. I disagree. It only comes off that way if you have seen the 2003 anime prior to it. Otherwise, it stands on its own. That's what I'm saying. It stands on its own pretty well. My Grand Archer in 2 years will be John in her One Piece. All right, I'm not even gonna hate on that. Yeah, it's been a while since I gave Gil some upgrades. Let's go ahead and give him some grand upgrades. 2003 version was going more mature and interesting places. Okay, I will say that because like I said earlier, the 2003 anime, the original Full Metal Alchemist that branched away from the manga, I will say it does have much more mature and adult themes in it that make it more interesting of a watch from a thematic standpoint. Whereas Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, comparatively speaking, is very cookie cutter in a lot of ways. So I do agree with that. But as a whole, as an entire package, I think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is still the better story of the two. But both are good stories. I'm not trying to shit on one or the other. Okay, let's keep the upgrades going. Gil's almost, he's almost there. He's almost there. I'm just glad the final season of Code Geass is higher than the last arc of AOT on. Oh, of course you're happy about that. I mean, even someone like me who didn't really have a big issue with the ending of Attack on Titan, yeah, Code Geass still sweeps though. Still clears. Okar. Okay, tell me this Tiamat has second append unlock. Okay, thank you, Tiamat. Thank you. Is that my comment, main? I was watching Death Battle Dante versus Clive Rosefield from Final Fantasy 16. So, someone asked me, I don't know if it was you actually. You asked me about my opinion on Final Fantasy. I have played some Final Fantasy games and I do know a bit about Final Fantasy. I don't know a single thing about Devil May Cry, so I have no opinion on either of those two characters fighting. Maybe one day I'll pick up Devil May Cry, but it never really interested me. I don't know why. It's nothing against it or against its fan base, just never really interested me. Never got around to it. It's good. I bet it is. I mean, there's a reason it's been going on for a while now. It has a lot of games. It's a very active fan base and community, based on what I've seen online, but never got around to it. Brotherhood can stand on its own. To be honest, I've introduced it to people because 2003 was unavailable at the time and they enjoyed it. Brotherhood, in my opinion, does have a faster pace and omits some side stories. I mean, yeah, Brotherhood, every episode matters to the grander plot, whereas the 2003 version, it has a lot of, well, not a lot, but it does have some filler arcs that really don't matter, which is kind of true for a lot of anime at the time, so you can't really fault Full Metal Alchemist for that anyway. I prefer FMAB too because it feels like a big narrative net that builds itself. That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I was just saying. Every episode matters and builds upon a bigger narrative, a bigger plot. Whereas a lot of anime, or the 2003 version specifically, have episodes and arcs that, in the grand scheme of things, could go without. I mean, notoriously, Naruto, for example. Naruto has a shit ton of spin-offs that, if you nip it all out, the anime is a lot shorter than, you know, it appears to be. Same thing with One Piece. One Piece is probably better known for that than Naruto nowadays, with how long it is. People call it peak, and listen, this is not, and I've talked about this with One Piece before. And this is somebody who hasn't seen it, so maybe, you know, I'm just one of those people that you have to watch it to experience it, to understand it. But in my opinion, if it takes 1,000 episodes or a couple of hundred episodes to get to the peak, then like, is it really peak? Is it really that good if it takes that long to get to where it's good? And I don't know. That's just my opinion. And again, maybe one day I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to be like, you know what? I see what everyone's talking about. But yeah, it took way too long to get there. I don't know about that. As someone who watched 2003 first and really appreciates the gritty portrayal, while I prefer 2003's tone, I really like how in-depth Brotherhood goes and easily. Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. Absolutely. But I do think 2003 version of the Homunculus are better overall. In terms of what? Because I think in terms of personality, I mean, they're pretty close. Backstory is completely different. Obviously. Wait, what series did you just talk about? One Piece? No offense to my One Piece fans out there, but like, come on. If it takes that long for you guys, for it to get good, then like, I ain't gonna watch it. If you pick up One Piece, read the manga much quicker. Oh, no, I bet. I'm not even like debating on the manga. I'm just talking about strictly the anime. Because people say it's the best anime of all time, and I'm just like, it's okay, first of all, it's not done yet. And you guys already know how I feel about anime not being done and people glazing it. That and it took how long for you guys to say it's that good? Like, it took how long? I don't know about that. I don't know the exact episode number, Archer Blades, but like a long ass time. I don't know how many episodes. I couldn't watch it because of the art style and didn't like it when compared to others. I mean, the art style, if we're just talking strictly art style, it's not for me either. I'm typically pretty open and tolerable of a lot of art styles. Like, for example, with Grand Order, a lot of people don't like Hanjo Raita's art style. The art style of Shuten, Raiko, Kintoki. A lot of people say it's too many exaggerations, you know, Raiko's breasts are too big, their legs are too long, whatever it is. And I'm cool with it. I love their art style. So I'm typically pretty cool with stuff like that, but I don't know, One Piece's art style, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that one. I'm not saying it's horrible, but like, it's just not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. I mean, I really liked it less than 30 episodes. Okay, I mean, I watched it as a kid and I did like it at the time. So I'm not saying like versus dislike. I'm saying like when it reaches that peak level of like, this is one of the best anime ever. Because some people glaze it like literally saying it's one of the best anime ever, which I'm not going to contest with. What I'm contesting with is how long does it take for that conversation to be brought up? Does it take until episode 30 for that conversation to be brought up? Probably not. It probably takes a while for you to be like, you know what? This is one of the best anime I've ever seen. It's probably not 30 episodes. It's probably not. Considering Raita's original. It kinda is. Wait, what are we talking about here? I like how people are still talking about the One Piece thing. Wait, what are we talking about with the Homunculus? The Homunculus in 2003 were an interesting concept, to be honest. The body hopping was wild. I forgot that happened. Yeah, that was a crazy... Yeah, that wasn't in Brotherhood at all. I mean, in a way, it was kind of there with like the body switching with greed, but like not to that level. Golly. Raita's origin, I meant. Oh yeah. That, you know, their original line of work before they started doing more tasteful, quote unquote, tasteful stuff. $37. What arc is that? Because I'm pretty sure I watched that arc then. Because again, I used to watch One Piece. I just didn't get past, or at some point I just dropped it because, you know, life happens. But yeah, the Arlong. Yeah, okay, yeah. I did watch through the Arlong part. That's with like Nami's original group, I think. and then she has her whole moment and whatnot. I think that's what that is. I mean, again, good. Okay, I'll give it that. But like best anime of all time, I don't know about like my dick swinging and like hitting the table kind of good. I really want to get all the FGO artists' art books. I only got Wada's, but I can't find Raita's. Really? Raita's is pretty common. I see that all the time online. If you need to find anything like Fate related and you live overseas, like overseas, I mean like outside Japan, go to the website. It's going to sound like a funny ass website, but like trust me. It's called From Japan. I don't know if they ship anywhere outside of the US, but I don't know. You could try. Either From Japan or Buy Ye. Buy Ye, like buying, like you're buying something, and then instead of, you know, with double E at the end, so Buy Ye. You could find like the Raita art books pretty easily. In fact, I have one right here. I got one. I got the Shuten one. This big chillin', the Raita Shuten one. Yeet. So, and I got it from either Buy Ye or From Japan. I'm not sure. The only problem is especially nowadays with the recent tariffs, imports are kind of expensive right now. Not gonna lie, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do if you really like something, I guess. Yeah, this one was about $12. Like you could find the books for a pretty good price. Most art books that I bought were about like 10 to 20, maybe $25 depending on the art book and depending on the seller, of course, which is more expensive than they probably were being sold at like Comiket or whatnot, because I think they typically sell at Comiket for like $5, not even $5 a lot of times. But as somebody who's overseas and doesn't really have the opportunity to go to Comiket and travel to Japan, you know, getting an art book for like $10, $15, $20 is really worth it. But then, you know, with recent tariffs, because at least for my orders as of recently, every time I get an order from Japan, there's a $90 flat tariff fee. So no matter what I order, I could literally order a bag of chips. I actually don't think I could order food, but like just for example, I could order something that's like $5 or less. No matter what, I get like a $90 tariff fee. So if I am going to be ordering something from Japan, I would have to make sure it's like worth the price of the $90 fee. Prior to that, it was like maybe like $20 shipping, $15 with like tax and whatnot. So it wasn't that bad, but Lord have mercy. Funny thing, I don't necessarily prefer Raiko's or Tez's art style, but I feel the most outlandish art styles really represent FGO, like sanity amongst the chaos. Yeah, I agree. I like the ones that stand out, like art styles you wouldn't expect in a gacha game. I think that's what makes FGO really cool. Like they're open to pretty much any and every art style out there. Yeah, the tariffs are the problem, to be honest. I'm happy I managed to get Wada's before they were established. Well, the beautiful thing about Wada Arco's, at least some of the art books, not really like the Comiket exclusive ones, you could find them in a lot of stores here in the US, like in Books Kurikaniya, which is a fairly known Japanese chain that, you know, has several stores in the US. I could find Wada Arco's books no problem. But like something like Raita, you're not gonna find that shit anywhere in the US, unless somebody bought it from Japan and came, you know, to sell it here. One Piece is all about the journey and the world building, but it's not for everyone since it's a long. But again, that's my argument though. Like, how can you call it like peak if it takes like, if it's that long of a story, bro? Like, I don't know. It's not really for me to be like sitting there watching the same thing for that long. Like, for me, maybe it's because I don't have as much time as I used to, but I really don't like the idea of an anime surpassing maybe even like 50 episodes. Like I can't watch a lot of shonens nowadays, except for the ones that I've already been watching, like My Hero, for example. My Hero Academia, like I'm able to watch the latest season just because I've been caught up. But if I have to watch like Bleach, for example, which is a lot shorter than One Piece, a lot shorter than Naruto too, I don't stomach the idea. I'm just like, I'm good. And that's like shows that are only 50 to 100 episodes, maybe a little bit over 100, but Lord have mercy, I am not about to watch that much. The manga is to this day one of the best stories ever written, though. Golly. Well, I mean, that's a different conversation because I don't really read manga like that. It's really hard for me to like sit down and read something. I have like really bad ADHD, so to sit down and read something takes a lot out of me. So that's not gonna happen. But just talking about strictly anime, I just can't stomach. Like I don't have a lot of time to be watching that much. It's too much stuff, too much content. Seasonal shows are easier to watch. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Is there any of your friends Grand or Ash? I actually don't know. So far, I've only seen Tiamat, Gil. Like that's only two I've noticed so far. Maybe because they stand out to me. But yeah. All right, Gil, go do your thing. I binged 300 episodes in 2 weeks and almost flunked my final university exam because my head was full of VR instead of relevant information. Damn. Yeah, I can't do that, bro. There's no way. I have 2 Grand Arashes in my friend list. Wow. I mean, I'm not surprised. Arash is fairly popular. It is kind of funny though, because like you're most likely gonna be using his NP only once, so he's dead right away. So it's kind of a weird Grand to make or to choose, but you know, in the end of the day, like I said earlier, I usually pick my Grands based on if I really like a character or not. The homie Gilgamesh being my favorite, so of course I had to pick him. I can't do that these days either. It was a different time and a different me back when I was 20. Bro, I remember, man, when me and my brother first started watching anime when I was like freshman year of high school, maybe even like middle school. I think middle school is when we really started watching anime. We were watching different anime damn near every day, like maybe like 10 episodes a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you really think about it, that is kind of a lot when you're just, like every single day. And I think at one point we just watched anime in like 30 episodes in one day. I think we watched like Anohana, which isn't like 30 episodes, but just saying, we literally binged the whole thing in one sitting, which was a mistake because my brother cried like a little bitch. I was sad, but like, you know, I wasn't crying, but yeah. Nowadays I can't do that. Like I could watch like maybe 3 episodes and then I just don't have the time to watch anymore. Like it's just not in me nowadays. I make some exceptions here and there, but like otherwise no. I am sad we don't get the grand animation for Gil and Musashi. I am sad too. I feel like if we're granting the servant that's in the Grand Duel, they should allow us to use the animation that is being used for the Grand Duel, if that makes sense, you know? But, you know, fuck them, I guess. My personal record is binging the original Tsukihime visual novel, 30 hours, no stops, aside from eating and shitting. See, that's crazy. That's crazy as fuck. I mean, I respect it, but Lord have mercy. There's no way I would be able to do that. Okay, damn, 7 mil. Okay. I watched Fairy Tail and I still don't know why I like that series. Fairy Tail was good. Back when I was insane with anime, and I was actually okay with watching a shit ton of episodes in one sitting. My brother and I used to watch Fairy Tail on a daily until we caught up. And then when we caught up, the newest season hasn't come out yet, obviously, since we caught up. That's what that means. I don't know why I reiterated that, but we just never continued, and then we heard what happened in the latest seasons, and we just never really bothered continuing. So, I mean, it is what it is. Is it better to watch as it's better to read instead of the anime? It's also way faster to read than people think. From Wano onwards, the anime handles it better. Why I'm excited to see the Alien God. 1 month left for final chapter. See, I'm predicting like when we get to the final chapter next month, it's not going to be the final chapter in its entirety. It's going to be the final chapter, and then there's like a cut off at some point, and then we got to wait like several weeks for the next part, kind of like what they did with Lostbelt 7, but it might be to a greater degree. It might be like final arc part 1 on some Attack on Titan shit, and then we gotta wait another year for the final arc part 2. I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna release the whole chapter in one sitting. I think it will literally be like spaced out. Okay, so this is the Grand Archer duel, the final duel for that CE. So we gotta take this one extra seriously, because this is the actual boss fight where Gil's gonna have gimmicks and several breaks, presumably. I'm probably gonna get clapped, and I'm probably gonna have to finish this off camera, which is fine. But let's see how we do in our first try blind. I'm looking for a Tiamat that's at least NB5, because I'm trying to go full out against Gil. Final chapter part 1, 2. That's why I'm thinking it's gonna be like a 3-parter, possibly. I don't want Marisberry, maybe his alternative version, if ever there's any. I mean, it's most likely him. It's not going to be anyone else. It's going to be him, like, fused with some kind of deity or servant or something. He's like the overarching, presumably, antagonist. Okay, okay, there's an MP5. Okay, let's see what we could change here. We don't really need the Bonsies, since this is the actual big fight. Let's go do that. Drop some crit stars. And then probably good, I think. We'll see how well we do. We're going in blind, so okay, let's see how this Grand Duel is. I gotta get into the Umineko visual novel. I watched the original anime, which I know is the best, but I still really liked it. So I feel like I would really like the Umineko actual story. Okay, we're in the sky now. What is happening? Are we fighting in space? Oh my god. Okay, we're just... He took us to space because he's like, bro, if we keep fighting on Earth, the Earth is gonna get destroyed. Alright, Gil. Let's go. King of Heroes. We're out here. Okay, 600k. That's actually not that bad. 600k is not bad. We're able to one-shot this pretty handedly. I'll be surprised if we beat this first try. So one of the advantages of Tiamat when it comes to challenge quests, because I talked about her extensively, and as you guys saw earlier in the past hour, when it comes to farming, she's able to farm pretty well, as you guys saw. But in terms of challenges, she is really good as well, just because of not only the invincibility she puts on the entire party with her NP, but she also puts a buff removal resistance to the entire party, as well as debuff resistance to the entire party. So even if we break Gil, the only thing that would fuck us is if he has invincibility pierce. Otherwise, if he has buff removal, we're immune to that. If he debuffs our party, we're immune to that. So I'm hoping he doesn't have invincibility pierce, but if he does, we're fucked. Okay, Tiamat, go ahead and put your buffs on. Some question, can Gil fly like without anything, just by himself? Watch Strange Fake. Or read Strange Fake. Whispers of Dawn. Strange Fake episode 0. You'll get your answer really fast, actually. Foreshadowing for the battle of the alien god. Holy shit, yeah, you're right. He's probably the one that specifically want. Maybe he's like threatening to destroy the planet just to like test us and our dog in us. If we have that dog in us to save the world. Maybe he's literally like, I will spam Gate of Babylon on this planet unless you stop me right here and right now. Which would be a pretty cool premise, but I don't know. Okay, so we did get the one-shot kill. So again, if he debuffs us or attempts to, we're immune to that thanks to Tiamat's buffs. If he tries to remove our buffs, we're good. The only thing that fucks us is... Okay. Okay, so he doesn't have that. No pierce, no buff removal. I think we're straight. Yeah, he is trying to debuff us with attacks. But as you can see, we are guarding against it. So... Okay, now this is scary though. Because now we're in turn 2. If he goes after only one servant, he's most likely going to kill. Especially since he does have several attack ups. As well as a crit up. I wish we have some way to remove buffs, but unfortunately we do not. We do have a full combo with my Gilga though. This should be able to kill with Tiamat buffs pretty easily. And unless, I mean, there's a good possibility he's going to Numa Elish this turn or next turn. So I'm going to make the decision to switch out one of the Tiamats for Nightingale. The reason I'm doing that is because Nightingale could give guts to Gil in the event Gil dies this turn. So we're just gonna do that. I believe the guts lasts for several turns. Yes, it lasts for several turns. It's a one-time use, obviously, and we might as well do the attack up. And I mean, he has debuff resistance, so I don't think this is gonna work, but let's try it anyway. Okay, it does remove the crit buff, but it doesn't put actually I don't remember what this is. I thought this gives NP seal, but I guess not. My bad, but that's okay. We did remove the buff, the crit buff, so that's okay. And let's go ahead and full on attack. They haven't, to my knowledge, it's silent like the priestess now. Okay, so Gil does kill thanks to Tiamat buffs. We are at 300% NP. We don't have protection, but we do have guts, and we still have the debuff resistance as well as the buff removal resistance. Okay, he is going to NP right now. Okay, he did try to use some kind of debuff. He is going to Numa Elish right now. Or not even a Numa Elish. This is only our second time seeing this attack, which is sick nasty. Look at this. Look at this. What is that, bro? That is so cool. That is insane. He says Duranki. That's what Tiamat says in her NP. But I don't think it's the same NP. Okay, please... After these two die, it ends the turn? Okay, it ends the turn. And it didn't matter. Because he has a second attack at the end. Alright. I thought we were good. I literally thought we were good. Okay. Alright, Gil. I see you. I see you, dog. Damn, I thought we were good, bro. Is it up to Kid Gil now? Okay, we're not winning this with Kid Gil. Can he charm himself? He just charmed himself. A little bit weird, Gil, but you know what? If I look like that, I guess I would. No. I did say he has a soft spot for kids earlier, but not like that. Not like that, Gil. I mean, we might as well see how this ends. I guess. I mean, who knows? Maybe Gil's gonna get the dub. Maybe Tiamat in the back is gonna get the dub. Kind of crazy. Okay, heal it off anyway. So no matter what, we're fucked. Okay. So we need a new plan because obviously our previous plan didn't work out. I think I know what to do. I think I know precisely what to do to win. Unfortunately, we didn't win the first try. I don't think there's any point in trying. Actually, you know what? I'm going to screenshot this because we might actually win this. Because I don't know if you guys see what I see, but as a professional Tiamat player, I see a full Tiamat combo with pretty much 100% crit across the board if we do full combo. And we have an NP with her. So I'm thinking she still has the buffs from earlier. So she has currently double Tiamat buffs. Now going to be triple Tiamat buffs. And a full combo with her arts and quick. This might kill right here. And even if it doesn't, the team is going to survive. Because she's going to protect the team with invincibility. And for some reason, even the Grand Archer Gilgamesh doesn't have a pierce invincibility. I think we're straight. I think we're good here. Because even if we don't win this turn, next turn, his HP should be really damn low. So even though my guild wasn't able to defeat the Grand Archer guild, I think my mother is able to do it. Wow. First try. I was about to restart. But we got that salty run back. We got that salty run back. You know, Grand Archer Guild, you defeated Tiamat in Babylonia. But now it's time for Tiamat to get that salty run back and defeat you. I hope you could respect that, my king. And you know what? Kid Guild's there just to watch. Alright, that was easy. That was probably the easiest Grand Archer challenge quest duel. I don't even know what to call it. Because the other ones, I'm pretty sure I had to restart and like rethink a new strategy. But this one, literally Tiamat's buffs carried, hard carried. Obviously, my guild took out both of the initial HP bars, but as far as that last HP bar, yeah, no. Tiamat hard carried. And Tiamat got her revenge, or salty run back. There you go. So again, if you're not rolling for Tiamat in 2 years, my NA players, then I don't know what you're doing, because he's obviously worth every single quart, every single dollar if you have to spend. And we got the Grand Archer Shindig. There you go. Nice and beautiful. So I think that... Wow, I got 2,500 quartz. Holy fuck. Oh, I haven't done my free summon yet. By the way, with my free summon, because I don't know if you know this, my NA players, but you get a free summon every day on your story gacha. For like 2 weeks in a row, I got 2 new 5 stars that I never had. I have I just pulled Zhang Yu yesterday. And then I didn't know I didn't have her until I got her, was Francis Drake. They got Francis Drake and Zhang Yu out of my asshole, but that's why you do the free summon, I guess. Because you never know what kind of 5-star you're gonna magically get. So let's go ahead and pull my free summon. Grand Gil hit you with a, did you really think that you live only because I can't attack? I know, he literally just attacked. Killed my my actual Gil. Forced Kid Gil to come out, but it is what it is. Alright, so I think that does it for the end of the Grand Duels, but the stream isn't over yet. Because I said this earlier, I don't know how many people heard me or how many people earlier in the stream heard me say this. But I'm actually going to be rolling for, ironically enough, for Summer Tiamat in my side account. Because like I said earlier, I'm so used to using her in my main account that when I play with my side account, which doesn't have her, I'm just like, oh shit, I don't have Summer Tiamat. So I kind of want to get her. So I think I have like 1,000 quartz, so I'm going to try really hard for her. In fact, I might even grand her in my side account just because he put in a lot of work in this Grand Duel. So I will be rolling for Summer Tiamat. It's only been like 2.5 months since she initially came out, and she's already back. And I'm already going to roll for her again because she's just that good of a servant. I really think she's like a must-have servant for like challenges and farming. And maybe even especially challenges, because if I didn't have that debuff immunity or debuff resistance and buff removal resistance, I'm pretty sure I would have got clapped by whatever guild was trying to debuff me with. Because he was trying to debuff me or my party. I just didn't know what they were because obviously it wasn't going to work. Was our Grail front really the last one? Yeah, that was the last Grail front, which sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. Oh. Okay, you guys could see the entrance again. The Grand Gil. As soon as it showed the gate and and I heard the music, I was like, bro, King of Heroes, let's go. This is so hype, man. Literally, who else could it have been? Nobody else. wouldn't have been as hyped. Yup. Yes, sir. Grand Archer Gil. Gotta screenshot that again for the record. Alright, let's go ahead and just ooh, my present box is full of shit. God damn. I'm really bad with my present box management, as you guys can see. Both in NA and JP, actually. So let's go ahead and roll for a couple of Tiamats. Let's do our free summon. Gilgamesh naked in all of his glory. You know, AUO cast off. If you've ever played extra CCC, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see. Probably not going to get anything from this. But we are going to be rolling for Tiamama. Yep, Christopher Columbus. That's fine. Alright, Tiamat. You did really well. In fact, you were probably the MVP of that Grand Duel and against the King of Heroes, against the Grand Archer Gilgamesh. So I'm going to show you respect by rolling for you in my side account, and I'm probably going to grand you in this side account as well, because you know what? Aside from Gil, you're probably the only other heroic spirit I would be willing to grand in the Grand Archer class. So let's go ahead and go. It's understandable no new Gil fronts have happened. The devs' hands have been pretty full. I mean, that's fair, but I mean, I still would like to see Grand Duels come back. Make it like a monthly thing. They don't have to make it like a crazy theatrical, crazy effects and whatnot. Just make it like a monthly, maybe every 2 months kind of event. That way I could use servants that I normally wouldn't use. Because there's a lot of servants you never get to use just because of their kit. And just because they're not really good for farming. But in like Grail fronts, they would probably thrive. And I like that about Grail fronts. It forces us to use other characters we probably wouldn't use otherwise. Okay, so we did the 5. Let's go ahead and keep going. Try to get that Tiamat. Archer Tiamat. Maybe he should have been 100% naked for this. That would have been a crazy... Maybe... Okay, I was about to say, if you brought Bathory, maybe he could be naked just for that callback. But you can't even bring Bathory because she's not even... She doesn't have an archer self. But that would have been a cool little Easter egg, I guess. Come on, Tiamat. I respect you. I literally have a collection dedicated to you. I have like your cup here from the official artist. I have your strap right here as well for good luck. So we out here. We're gonna do skip rolls after this, just to speed up the process. I want to use Alco in the grill front. Oh yeah, that's true. Alco in a lot of servants post the recent grill front we have in NA, they're never gonna see a grill front, which sucks because I think Alco would be pretty cool in a grill front, given her kit, because she's not really optimal for like normal farming, and you could use her in challenges, but she's very niche in challenges. But I think in a grill front she'd be really fun. Damn, that the potential is there too. I wish they would bring it back, like even harder now. But unfortunately, they decided no more. I don't know why. I know they were busy with like other stuff, other events and stories, and other updates. But I wonder if there's another reason. Like, our girlfriend's not that popular. I feel like they are, but I don't know. Maybe in Japan they're not. Not sure. Okay, let's see. Oh, this was a skip roll. It is guaranteed a gold. Saber? Oh man, we're already getting spooked. Okay, Susie got a 4-star spook, not a 5-star spook, so I can't really get that mad. Alright, okay, fair. Actually, I didn't take a screenshot of how much I had, because I like to see how much I started with and how much it took. Okay, there is a chance we get Summer Bargus as well. Okay, let's just do some skip rolls. Get this over with. That way I could, focus on fully upgrading my Grand Archer Gilgamesh, who 100% deserves to be Grand Archer. I don't care what anyone says. Ordeal call is a lot of work. I don't know if you're saying that's like sarcastically, but like especially with like Ordeal call, I believe it's 3, the one that was like a summer Ordeal call. That one looked like it took a lot of work, just because it was tied to a summer event, which I don't really agree with. But you know, it is what it is. But even writing wise, it looked like it took a lot. To be honest, I don't like that new design of the summoning screens. What do you mean the new design? Are you talking about like when like, so like the 5-star has their full sprite and then the 4-stars have like just a small box? Is that what you're talking about? Because they don't do that all the time. They only do it for the Grand Duel banners, from what I can tell. I think they only do this for the Grand Duel ones. Let me go look at, yeah. So for this one, for example, you see the full sprite of both the 5-star and the 4-star. But for the Grand Duel ones, I don't know why. Specifically, I just noticed Gil is with Emiya. Of course he is. Emiya, leave him alone. He doesn't like you. But for the Grand Duel ones, that's how it is. So it's not necessarily the new style. At least I don't think it is. They have to stop hard capping Grailfront team costs. Pretty much only 2 5-star Grailfront hurts that, but I kind of like that because it forces you to rely on other servants, not just 5. Because if there was no cap, you would just bring pure 5-stars and like kaleidoscopes. Damn it, Vargas. So it forces you to like think and like strategize which servants you prioritize, which craft essences you prioritize. Sometimes they use like 3-star craft essences and 4-stars, which you never really do use over 5-stars most of the time. So I kind of like that, but that's just my opinion. Not to mention, of course, like relying on 1-stars, 2-stars, and 3-stars. Like I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Okay, we got Vargas, offense Vargas, but we ain't trying to see you. You're thick, but you know, I don't like them that thick. I don't like them. You know, that's not for me. Not for me. What's up, Serge? You're back. How's everyone? I'm doing good. So far, pretty good stream. We got the Grand Archer Gilgamesh, and I Grand Archered my own Gil. And you heard that right. We did fight for the Grand Archer duel. It was indeed the King of Heroes, which is pretty hype. Pretty hype to see. Okay, now we're going below 1,000. Damn. But how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay, Sergio back. As someone who mainly uses 4-stars, I guess I didn't really think about that. Yeah, you could rely on lower stars, not just 4-stars, but 3-stars and lower. And I think it's just funner. I like the idea of, you know, it's funny because I don't like forced support, like when they do it in stories, in like actual chapters and Ordeal calls and like Lostbelt and whatnot. But when they make us do it for like Grail fronts, I kind of like that. I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird balance. Because for stories, I kind of just want to get the quest done and over with and win with any character I want. I like that freedom. But when it comes to like challenges and like Grail fronts and whatnot, I do like having that limit because it makes it that much more challenging and that much more exciting and fun. How does Grand Gil look? He's basically the Gil we saw in Babylonia, where he has his armor off, but he has his hair slicked back still. That, and he has like a different NP, different animations. I mean, it's the full package. The only thing that's not different is his like cutscene sprite. It pretty much just looks the same, but otherwise he has the full package. He looks so cool. Mommy didn't want to show up. Oh, she's gonna show up eventually. I mean, we got 1,000 quartz, bro. She's gonna show up eventually. She has to see how much I respect and love her, man. Like I use her on the daily, literally on the daily. She's like almost bond 14 now in my main account. So when she hits bond 15, I'd hope she'd want to come in this account as well. That way I could bond with her all over again. Okay. We haven't got another gold servant since Vargas and Suzuka goes in, which is worrying. But better than that than a random 5-star spook, I guess. If we have to hit pity though, that's gonna be sad because we literally started with over 1,000 quartz. Come on, team. Don't be like this. Don't be like this though. Mother's gonna show up eventually. I hope you don't do this in NA, because for NA, I'm definitely gonna be saving after Alice next year. I think I'm just 1000% gonna save for Tiamat. Because after Alice next year, there's really nobody else next year I really want. Like, there's some that's tempting, like Space Arishigal, for example, and Summer BB, and CL. And there's a lot of great servants coming out next year, but like after Alice, I might just straight save for Summer Tiamat, because I need her MP5. For example, right here, right now. Never mind. No, that's not her. Yes, I'm curious to see. I assume you're rolling for extra copies. No, this is my side account. Because, I said this earlier, but, I'm so used to using her in my main account that when I go to play my side account, I'm like, oh wait, I don't have her here. So I do feel an empty space, an empty void when I'm farming and I'm not using her, just because I've gotten so reliant on her that when I don't use her, it's like, it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. So I need to have her. She's like a must-have servant at this point. Yeah, Bargus keep coming, to be honest, but I mean, it makes sense. She's also rated up, so I can't be that mad at her. So far, we're like 400 quartz in, so we might actually hit pity. To like, gonna be real with you guys. If I'm gonna be real, we're probably gonna hit pity. But I think I could make one Tiamat work. Although I would like at least NP2. In Grailfront, it feels like a true Holy Grail war. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, and I don't know if this is like really a really hot take. I wouldn't mind if there was a full-blown story chapter that was the Grailfront style. I think, for example, Lostbelt 6.5. I forget the name of it. I think Lostbelt 6.5 would have worked as a. Wait, is it 6.5? No, it's the one with Young Moriarty. I think that chapter would have fit the Grailfront style, given the story. In my opinion. Yeah, Trom. I think Trom in the Grailfront style would have fit, given the story. I think that would have been sick. Okay, we got another gold spin. It was a slight pause, so I'm hoping it's loading up a 5-star for me. Not a 5-star Lancer, though. Okay, Nessa. Okay, that's fine. 4-star Spooks is inevitable. What was your reaction for the first time 100 banners? I mean, like everyone else. It was like, bro, this is a shit ton of banners. What am I seeing? But otherwise, I was just like, okay, yeah. I mean, makes sense. There's a lot of servants. Okay, another gold spits by another Bargus at this point. Who are we rolling for? I'm rolling for Summer Tiamat in my side account, who doesn't want to show up for some reason. I have gotten 3 Bargus, I think, so far, and 2 4-star Spooks. I don't think she's really feeling this account. She's like, this account's dog water. Come on, Tiamat. You're the one that dealt the final blow on Grand Archer Guild. Spoiler alert. Not really a spoiler. I mean, it's, you know, it already happened, but yeah. Okay. Come on. In 100 banners, I would be rolling for Space Arish, Monte Cristo, and Typhon. Yeah, Typhon. I want NP5 her so bad. I have her NP4, but I might wait until like the guaranteed SRs to do that. Just because I don't know what they're going to release next month. Could be Solomon, could be Goetia, could be a big surprise. So I want to make sure I am prepared for that. Okay, another Archer. Most likely Bargus again. Yep, okay. Yeah, we're most likely hitting pity. Let's be real. Damn, dude, I had to get 3 Malistines in NA to get 10 Summer Bargus. You are on the right streak. Really? Okay. Damn. Okay, maybe this hit right here. Another Lancer? Who the fuck? Nessa again? What are the chances? There's a ton of other 4-star Lancers I could get, I feel like. Okay, there's a slight pause on that. Nope. Okay, never mind. Damn, another Nessa? She's not even rated up, obviously. She's a Lancer. Okay, we're hitting pity. It doesn't feel good, but we're most likely hitting pity. Okay, slight pause. Servant. Please. Tiamat. I love you. You know, I love you too. Oh, fuck. Okay, nope. Damn, Bargus. What the hell? Yeah, we literally started off with like 1,150 quartz or something. Yeah, we're hitting pity. I'm just gonna accept it. It's a good thing this is a side account. If this was on my main, I would have shit bricks. I guess anything for Tiamat at that point. Also, in my main account, I have 2,500 quartz, so I'm not even tripping. Like, whatever's coming out next month, it is what it is. Pity it is. Yeah, most likely. I'd rather hit pity than be like right before pity. Because I would just like, I don't know, make it sting a lot for me. I hit NP6 Summer Medicine before getting 1 copy of Summer. Damn! Surge your back, that's crazy. I hope you're using Summer Medicine to the best of her ability. Because she's a really good looper in her own right. So, golly though. Okay. Let's see. Berserker? Oh, Beowulf, the most boring berserker there is. No offense to my Beowulf fans out there, but Lord have mercy. Yeah, do be crazy like that for real, for real. Okay, this has to be pity at this point. I actually don't know if we hit it, but I feel like we did. Okay, Archer, thank you. Unless... Okay, I was about to say, Lord have mercy. That had to have been pity, right? Okay, Summer Tiamat. I think that was pity. Lord. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll make NP1 work. If we have to stop at NP1, I might keep rolling. Because I'm a psychopath. How you doing? You're literally one of the best supports on the game. Right below Oberon. Someone in chat earlier said you're better than Oberon. I don't know about all that, but... Right below Oberon. Am I the only one afraid of getting rainbows? Technically, they're good, but I've been spooked. So I'm the same way, actually. Like, when I see a rainbow, you have that initial hype of like, oh my god, it's a rainbow. But then you're just like, wait a second. It could be a spook. Because, like you, that's happened so many times where I've gotten spooked from a rainbow. And I'm pretty sure I got, I just hit pity because I was at 1,150 quartz and now I'm at 250. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I hit pity at that point. But we'll make the NP1 Tiamat work. As long as I get her second append unlocked, she should be good for most farming situations. But I think that's gonna be it, pretty much for this stream. Thank you guys for hanging out and talking to your boy about a myriad of different things. This whole stream will be uploaded as a video, and I might cut up a smaller version for the gacha portion and maybe a little bit of the Grand Archer Duel. But thank you guys for watching. I'm just gonna show my my grand so far, that way we could hype ourselves up for the Grand Duel next month, which is of course going to be the caster. And before anyone asks, I've said it in the past, my grand caster will be Alice from Mahotsukai no Yoru, because I don't know, I really like Alice, and as much as I kind of want to grand caster Gil, I think, and then I kind of want to diversify my grand servants. So here's my grand so far. Pretty proud about it. I think at some point I will probably change Musashi to Ibuki, because Ibuki was going to be my original Grand Saber, but after seeing the Grand Duel against Musashi, I kind of got swayed a little bit, but I'll probably change it to Ibuki at some point. But so far, I'm pretty satisfied with my grands, not gonna lie. Pretty good. I just noticed I don't have a single quick servant granded, so I think granding Alice makes the most sense now, just because she is obviously a quick caster. So there you go. And you got Arts and Busters here, which kind of makes sense because they're pound for pound probably the best card type, but you know, quicks are still good as well. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that will be. I hope you guys have a good night and a good day, and good luck in your gacha rolls and your future endeavors, whatever that will be. My next stream, don't know when that will be, probably when, if they're going to be announcing a new servant or a new event or whatever. Otherwise, as far as NA stuff, probably not going to be rolling until New Year's in NA. I don't plan on rolling for Gura Gura or anything. But yeah, who would you Grand Berserker besides Summer Musashi? Oh, instead of Summer. Oh, okay. For Grand Saber, I said Ibuki. For Berserker, aside from Summer Musashi, probably it wouldn't be Ibuki. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that, but it probably wouldn't be Ibuki. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Yeet.